One. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, where tonight your post-University Eagles host Worcester State, the Lancers out of Massachusetts. Coming on early tonight, Coach Pete Whitney and I, before we'll do the full pregame, which we'll do closer to puck drop, it is senior night here as we will honor all of the seniors. A couple games before the final home opener, but senior night, and we're going to honor 11 seniors in this program today. Coach, this is the first senior class that you didn't directly recruit, correct? Or at the back end?
This is the last one that I recruited.
Okay, the last one you recruited.
Last one I recruited. I did not get the opportunity, unfortunately, to coach any of these fellows, but the last one I recruited.
So 11 seniors will be celebrated here this evening on Saturday, January 10. So let's talk about our seniors here. First start with number 6, that's Nathan McDevitt. He's been with the program for four full seasons, entering today playing 43 games. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points, including a game-winning goal against Franklin Pierce on the road last season. He's from Southington, Connecticut, and he's number 6. He's Nathan McDevitt. Family here to celebrate him. One thing with 11 seniors here on senior night is a lot of family members lined up. So over 50 is what I was told. So
yeah, there's quite the crew.
Second senior will be number 9, Jacob Howell. He's in his 4th season with the program. He's played 78 career games, entering tonight with 7 goals, 20 assists, and 27 points, including 2 game-winning goals throughout his career here at Post. He's from Derry, New Hampshire, and he is forward number 9, Jacob Howell. Coach Jacob, a good career here so far.
Yeah, Jacob, really tough, hard-nosed player. Gets after it, and Nate, love the way Nate plays. Nate, any opportunity he gets in, you can tell that he's excited that he got the opportunity, he got the chance, and he plays a tough game. He's a tough player to play against, I feel like. One
thing on a Saturday night as well, nice full house of people here in the building, so we will have a good crowd as well. Not just the family members on the ice. Our third senior, and in his 3rd season with the program, he was named NE10 All-Rookie Team during his freshman year 2 seasons ago. He's played 67 career games. He's got 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points, and he's from Andover, Minnesota. That forward is number 13, Parker Norling.
Parker Norling actually, too, has a striking resemblance to Nick Brewer. Parker, again, skilled player.
Don't forget, folks, we'll also have Alumni Day coming up as well, which is always a fun time, speaking of Nick Brewer. But 11 more seniors leaving the program after this season. Continuing a base of alumni and former players. Coach, this program just continues to grow. Year 11, correct? Year 10? We had the canceled year, so year 10, correct?
Yeah, year 10.
Would be year 11 without the COVID year.
Yeah, well, COVID year was a year in and of itself.
Correct. 4th senior transferred into Post last season from SUNY Fredonia, immediately making an impact on the offensive end. He had 8 goals and 7 assists last season. In his career, he's played 40 games, 10 goals, and 10 assists for 20 points. He's from Elliott, Maine. He's forward number 19. It's Baxter Kimball. And Baxter came in with Joe Santoro, who will be on the list shortly, Coach. They came in as a team, and they've played well.
Yeah, they're a great addition. They bring a level of toughness to the team, combined with their skill, which, again, makes a guy tough to play against.
And for the family members, unfortunately, they didn't give us a list of names of who the family members are. Otherwise, I would honor them as well, because the families are just as important as the players. They're the ones who support these players at the end of the day, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of rolls of tape, a lot of laces, a lot of hot chocolates bought over the years.
Next senior is in his 4th season with the program. He's approaching the century mark in career games. He's an assistant captain. He's got 92 games totally played to this point. In 4 seasons, he has 7 goals, 9 assists for 16 points. He's from Bedford, New Hampshire, and he's forward number 21, Connor Murray.
Yep, Connor's another one of those players that can be really effective in the face-off. He's a New Hampshire Avalanche from the EHL player, and really been a great addition to this team.
Again, being honored by his family, a rather large group. Our sixth senior is not somebody you want to sit behind at the movies because he's 6'7", but he came to post during the 23-24 season. He's in his third season with the program. He's a defensive horse. He's accumulated 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points in his 47 career games. He's the current Eagle captain from Delano, Minnesota. He's number 22, Tanner Glassrud.
Yep, the man who never got to sit in front of the class in grammar school, probably.
Tanner's been a good captain, a good defensive leader.
And his sister Grace, also an alum.
And his sister Grace also worked for us for a couple of years, a goaltender for the women's hockey team.
Yeah.
Now, I believe, off in Tennessee, trying to rule the world down there. So, and appears to be here tonight as well as part of the family picture.
That's nice.
So it's good to have her
That's
back.
Nice. Yeah.
But congratulations to Tanner more. So this is Tanner's.
Absolutely. This is his night. Yeah, for sure.
The seventh senior is another 4-year player for the program. He entered the day playing 85 games with 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 career points. He's from Carmel, New York. He's defenseman number 23, OC Ryan O'Connell.
Yeah, and Ryan, what we loved about Ryan's game is his ability to control the puck, pass the puck. He's a good power play guy up on the point as a quarterback, so he'll be missed.
Looks like his parents are in attendance here this evening. A rainy, weird evening outside. Our A senior in his 4th season with Post, an AHCA All-American Scholar last year. He played in 76 career games to this point. He's scored 7 goals, 9 assists for 16 points, and he's eclipsed the 100-shot mark this season, sitting at 101 for his career. From Hamburg, New Jersey, number 24, Hugh McGuigan.
Yeah, nice connection with Hugh. Hugh actually played for a coach who played for me when I was coaching at Gunnery. And he was instrumental in, I think, putting in a good word for us, and Hugh's been great for the program. Fought through some injuries over the years, but came out on the right side of it.
Good to see his family here in attendance as well. Our 9th senior has appeared in 66 career games and is just a pest at times. He scored 4 goals and has 9 assists. He has a shorthanded game-winning goal last year at home against Franklin Pierce as well, and he's from Bolton, Ontario, Canada. He's number 25, the shorthanded specialist, Mateo Pekka, assistant captain as well.
Yeah, Mateo's just one of those gritty players that you love to play with, but not against. He's always that first guy in on the forecheck, and heart's in the right place, and really been a great addition to the school as well as the program.
1/3 of the famed Run PMC line as well, which really made an impact last year during the Eagles' run to the playoffs. Senior number 10 is Joe Santoro, another transfer from SUNY Fredonia, as we mentioned. One of the NE10 Faces in the Crowd recipient last February. He was responsible for 2 game-winning goals last season en route to 6 goals and 2 assists, and enters today playing in 39 career games, 8 goals, 3 assists for 11 points in his career. Down the road in Wolcott, Connecticut, he's number 29. He's Joe Santoro.
Yeah, and Joe's a player who we actually tried to get Joe his freshman year, went a different route, and then at some point made a decision, when he wanted to come back closer to home, and Post is very fortunate to have him.
Should be very fresh coming off his short appearance on Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, his legs will be right there.
So hopefully he'll be all fired up today, not only for senior night, but had a longer than expected window of time, although he did play yesterday, to be fair. Senior number 11, well, there's a lot you can say about senior number 11 that's not written on this page. He's made his record books. He's broken records. He's got 3 career shutouts all this season, which is a program record. He's had the most single-season wins in a year with 10. He's been NE10 Goalie of the Week multiple times, 4 times. He's responsible for the first shutout, as we mentioned, plus 2 more. He is goaltender from Pembroke Pines, Florida, number 35, Ben Cunine. Coach, so much you can say about Ben, not just as a goalie, but as a person.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. Like Ben, as a goaltender, he's the guy that you don't want to play against if you're the other team, right? But and as a person, he's the guy that everyone wants as a teammate, and he's distinguished himself athletically, in the room socially, and then also on campus academically. So he's checked all the boxes.
He's the kind of player, and we have a former player who's currently doing this, who you envision coaching one day. He's got that kind of feel for the game, at least in my discussions with him. You can see him coaching somewhere, and your former goalie is upstairs coaching the women's team in Brandon Brown.
Yeah, I think the goaltenders are a good fit for the coaching piece because they have to learn patience. They're a bit cerebral, so I would not be surprised to see that.
But beyond tonight's game against Worcester State, this team still has roughly 14 games to go in the regular season. So, while we honor the seniors today, as we should, a little earlier than normal, but to honor them and give them proper time. A big class of seniors, so a lot of recruiting for Coach Richter and his staff to do over the offseason to replace 11 key contributors to the program.
Yeah, there's a lot to replace there. There's a lot to replace.
I did see some players' faces on sticks out in the crowd, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
And they're bringing the ladder back, which is even equally exciting for us.
Awesome. Yes.
All right, that is our senior night activities for the 11 seniors involved. Let's read them off one more time just so we can honor them. And we'll talk about them throughout the game today as well. The 11 seniors are Nathan McDevitt, Jacob Howell, Parker Norling, Baxter Kimball, Connor Murray, Tanner Glassroot, Ryan O'Connell, Hugh McGuigan, Mateo Pekka, Joe Santoro, and goaltender Ben Cunine. That is our senior night festivities. We will come back in about 30 minutes for the pregame show and then get you ready for puck drop in about 45 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. NCAA Division II hockey is live from the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut. We bring you post-university hockey as tonight the Eagles host the Worcester State University Lancers from Massachusetts. A pleasant good evening, everybody. Jeff Nelson here with you. The coach, Pete Whitney, will join us in just a moment. Eagles have not started out the way they wanted to in the winter portion of the schedule, going 0-2 so far, coming off a loss yesterday up at Westfield State. Tonight they host Worcester State. And, Coach, as we bring you in, it's the same theme over and over again, which is they struggle to score goals. They only have 23 on the season total as a team, and they scored 6 in the home opener, so that leaves 17 over the course of those remaining games. And the record right now stands at 3-9-1. Non-conference game today, but Tuesday afternoon, Assumption comes into town as they restart the NE10 schedule. Basically, what do they need to do to score to help Ben Cunene out?
Well, I think one of the things you'll see, Coach Richter, I think is going to change some things up. I'm not going to talk too much about what he's going to do, but you can watch the game. The folks can watch the game and see. But, you have to change your scheme of attack. And I think we'll see some of that as we move forward here. And it should be a great night. It's an emotional night because it's senior night. So that can go a couple ways. You can get caught up in the emotion too much, or you can use it as motivation. But with this many seniors on the group, I'm looking forward to them using it as motivation as opposed to worrying about everything.
As for those seniors, 11 of them were honored. We did that about an hour ago, so if you did miss it, you are catching the broadcast hoping to watch Senior Night. It is on youtube.com/GoPostEagles. You can go on the main YouTube page there and watch the Senior Night festivities. Those took place about an hour ago, and we honored 11 seniors. Those 11 seniors were Nathan McDevitt, number 6, Jacob Powell, number 9, Parker Norling, number 13, Baxter Kimball, number 19, Connor Murray, assistant captain, number 21, Tanner Glassrud, the captain, number 22, Ryan O'Connell, OC wears number 23, Hugh McGuigan, number 24, Mateo Pekka, assistant captain, number 25, Joe Santoro, number 29, and the goaltender, number 35, Ben Cunene. The 11 seniors honored here this evening, earlier this evening, so you can go back to youtube.com/GoPostEagles and watch the senior night ceremonies. Those took place about 45 minutes ago here at Sports Center of Connecticut. The opponents from Worcester State, they are 6-5-3 on the season, 1-2-2 in Mascak, and Coach, they're coming off an 11-1 victory to Franklin Pierce last night, where they were down 1-0 and then proceeded to score 11 straight goals. Yeah,
you don't see that too often. It's not that often you won't see someone score a goal and someone else come back, but to come back to that degree is pretty impressive, and you don't see that often.
Teams are getting ready to take the ice shortly. Again, we mentioned on Tuesday, Eagles were playing 10 games in 25 days. This is game number 2 of those 10, and the schedule gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And as we said, they come back Tuesday afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut to restart NE10 conference play against Assumption. That'll be a 1 o'clock puck drop, 12:45 pregame show here on the Post University Sports Network. Coach, afternoon hockey coming up. NE10 kicks back in, although there are a couple non-conference games after that, but then really kicking back in about a week or two here in the schedule. And Eagles need to pick up some wins, some points, still tied for 5th with Southern New Hampshire, but the distance is slowly gaping between 5th and 4th.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, you just have to find a way to get better each game, each period. So that's got to be the goal, and that's got to be your focus. You can't worry about it even at this point. Where do I finish or where don't I finish, right? Like all good points. But at the end of the day, you just got to beat what's in front of you.
Coach, as we mentioned, 11 seniors, and we talked about it a little bit during the senior night festivities, 11 seniors leaving the program. Your last sort of recruiting class, you didn't get to coach any of them because you decided to come join me up here where it's a little safer and less violent. But 11 players, many of them you recruited. Anything special about any of them in particular?
Well, I mean, as a group, I always try to, and we always try to recruit good humans, right? The reality is, when you're coaching, you got to go to work with those guys every day. So you want to go to work with, if you have the choice, as opposed to you do necessarily in the corporate world, you get to pick who you get to work with. So bringing in good people that are good teammates, good for the school, and you see it in the whole alumni piece. When the alumni comes back to watch, I noticed quite a few of them kicking around today, that's when you know that you're onto something good. And these guys all fit that bill. It's a really tight room. It's a close room. I'm sure they're as frustrated, probably more than anyone, with the goals, but sometimes, you work, and all of a sudden the floodgates open. So love to see that happen for this group.
Technically, this is the halfway point of the schedule. This is game number 14 of the 26-game regular season schedule. So halfway point right here. So time to turn it around. 3-9-1 is where they are right now, as the fancy new laser lights here at the Sports Center of Connecticut on for a Saturday night game, which we don't get a whole lot of here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Usually that 4 o'clock game before the evening skate. But a 8 o'clock game tonight. Good crowd on hand. Lots of family, some alumni, as you mentioned. We've got alumni weekend coming up as well here in Shelton this evening. Weather outside is, horrible. It's raining in about 45 degrees. Give it 10 minutes and it might change. That's typical New England weather, but at least it's not snowing.
Yeah, no, it was not pleasant. I drove in from Simsbury, about an hour and 15-minute ride, and highway was not pleasant. A lot of rain.
Yeah, we just asked that the rain stop sometime around 4 a.m., which is when I have to drive to West Virginia tomorrow.
It will. The sun will probably even come out for some reason.
Teams getting ready to take the ice here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. And I'd read you the starting lineups, but it's pitch dark in here and I can't see, so we'll wait till they turn the lights back on to do the starting lineups, which we'll at least read the copy while we're here. Brought to you by Post University, which ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals, no matter where you are on your academic journey. For more information, to take a tour, or to apply, because it is the application season, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Let there be light, they say. For the visitors from Worcester State University, the Lancers 6-5-3 on the season, 1-2-2 in MASCAC. That's 5th overall in the MASCAC. Their starters will be in goal, Donovan Alfama, the junior, 5'7", 154 out of Douglas, Massachusetts. He's 4-4-1 on the season, a 2.26 goals against average and a .938 save percentage. His defensive combination is Nicholas Byman. He's from Sipu, Finland. He's 6'2", 185 senior, and the other defenseman is Michael Schaff, 6', 175 junior out of Nashua, New Hampshire. On left wing is Matthew Nuzzolo, 5'6", 155 junior. At center, Nathan McDougall, a 5'11", 195-pound freshman. And on right wing is Shane Prifrell, 6'3", senior, 205 pounds, out of Invergrove Heights, Minnesota. Nathan McDougall, by the way, out of Gatineau, Quebec, and Matthew Nuzzolo out of Worcester, Massachusetts. Head coach in season number 3 is Bob Duraney. His assistant coaches are Richard Freely and Derek Alfama. For your Eagles, in goal will be Ben Cunine, 5'10", 165 senior out of Pembroke Pine, Florida. He's 3-8-1 on the season with a ridiculous 2.17 goals against average and .933 save percentage for somebody who's 3-8-1. His defensive combination will be Matt Pacheco, sophomore out of Belchertown, Massachusetts, 5'8", 175. And the captain, Tanner Glassrud, senior out of Delano, Minnesota, 6'7", 225. The left wing is Baxter Kimball, senior out of Elliott, Maine, 5'10", 177. At center, Connor Murray, the assistant captain, 5'10", 165 out of Bedford, New Hampshire, the senior. And Holden Beckett, 5'7", 160 is right wing, sophomore out of Craig, Colorado. Head coach in season number 4 is Tim Richter. Assistant coach is Andy DeAngelis. Players being announced to the crowd on hand here as they file in. A lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of party food, as I saw in the back area there. Parents all get together. It's a good time. Really a celebration, Coach, of all their work as well. And probably they don't get nearly enough credit from us talking heads up here, but it's the parents who drive the cars, pay the bills, and get all these players on the ice to begin with.
Well, having been on my end of senior night myself, the memories come flushing back. I mean, their first skates, right, as mites, and everything could be solved by a hot chocolate. Now at this age, it takes about a 2-hour phone call. So it's a lot of memories come flushing back, and I hope they all enjoy the experience and are appreciated by their student athletes.
Unlike most senior nights, they still have several games left to play, so there isn't the emotion of this is it, this is your home finale. We still have some home games to go. Just did it a little earlier this year so we can get it in, get the parents in. You don't want to risk a bad weather day
right,
as we get later in February.
Yep. If you got to reschedule, people fly in, so it's much smarter.
National anthem is about to be played. We'll be back in one moment as we get ready for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here on a Saturday night hockey here from the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut. The Worcester State Lancers making the 2 to 2.5 hour bus ride here to Shelton to take on your post-University Eagles. Jeff Nelson and the coach, Pete Whitney, here for the action this evening. A big non-conference game for the Eagles, looking to get their first win of the winter schedule and get back off the losing schneid as they've lost 4 of the last 5 games this season. Should be a good one this evening, Coach. Worcester State coming off an 11-goal effort last night. Eagles coming off a difficult loss up at Westfield State.
Yeah, you never know how that turns. I mean, last night Salve beat St. Michael's College 8-2. Tonight they played, and St. Michael's won 2-1. So you really never know when you get those high-scoring games what the next game looks like.
The Lancers from Worcester State are in their blue and yellow. With the yellow numbers, they're going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. Posting their home white uniforms with the purple lettering going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. We thank you for joining us wherever you are around campus, around the state of Connecticut, around the United States, or if you're listening somewhere outside of the borders of the U.S., around the world. And we have listeners from everywhere. We thank you for joining us this evening. Hockey night in Connecticut gets going now as Murray wins the faceoff all the way deep into his zone behind Kunin. So Glassroot will lay a hit as he tries to find the puck. Pacheco in there as well. 5-man scrum behind the net. Comes out is Connor Murray. Murray gets to the blue line, feeds to Beckett, goes off his stick into the far side corner. He'll chase after it. Byman comes up with it, lost it. Pacheco at the point, sends it back in. Murray has it on the half wall, sends it toward the net, but stopped in front by Byman, and he'll come out. On a 3-man wave, 3-on-2, pins it over here over the line to Prefro. Prefro toward the net, looking for the deflection of Byman, but too far. And all the way to the other side. Then dumped is McDougal. No penalty there, but Prefro picks it up behind his own net, checked by Pacheco. 4 players in the far side corner. Pacheco goes down. The puck pops free to center where Quigley will play it. Quigley gives his D partner Tanera. Ternera rims it around the board from far to near and then chopped out of the zone by the Eagles. And here comes a break up for Gazzardi. Gazzardi over the line, looking on the backhand, goes around the net, goes from the far near side to the far side, leaves it behind for Swain. Swain with a nice spin move in the far corner. He'll go behind the net, looking to come in front. Feeds it back to Gazzardi. Gazzardi to Kennedy, who had the goal last night. Gives it to Swain. Swain trying to keep it in, and then soccer-style kicked ahead by Carpenter out the center, and Santoro will play it. Santoro gets to the blue line, dumps it in around the board. Some Eagles go off on a line change, but out comes Quigley on the far side. Quigley with a bad pass, turned it over to Santoro. Santoro feeds it in the middle for a shot. Stopped right on by Alfama. First save of the game for either goaltender, and a nice save there on a nice little give and go with McMains. McMains, who scored on Tuesday here against Albertus Magnus, his second goal of the season. Back the other way comes Howe with a long shot, blockered away by Alfama as he took that sliding in from the rim of the near circle. Now back to McQuegan, who takes a shot that gets deflected and up into the netting behind Alfama. With 2 minutes even gone in period number 1, no score here and a face-off to Alfama's right. Good movement early, coached by the Eagles. Couple of plays by Santoro and by Howe.
Yeah, right now, Post taking advantage of the fact of they're a quick team and they're using their speed, and right now they're connecting on their passes pretty well too.
Behind his own net is Jacob Costa, the sophomore out of Cranston, Rhode Island. He wears number 26, and he'll come out from behind his own net dangerously up the middle, but makes a move around Howe and feeds the pass on left wing to Youngmans. Youngmans rims it around behind Kunin, but over the netting and out of play. That'll bring a face-off back to center ice. On a senior night here from the Sports Center of Connecticut, 11 seniors, as we mentioned. We'll talk about them throughout the game as well. As we move on, good to see some alumni here. We've got alumni weekend coming up in February as well. And I think some other things coming up on the schedule as well as we keep going through the post-university men's hockey season. Macau gets the center, cross-ice pass for Pekka, a little too far. Picked up behind the net by Pekka. Pekka chased it down, spins away from the check of Costa, comes out the near side. Looking for OC, but holds it instead. Now finally gives it to O'Connell on left point. Has to chop it in as he was being defended. Kept in by McDevitt. McDevitt back to the point to Rieger. Rieger, who also scored on Tuesday, has a shot that's blocked. Rolled behind Pekka, who could have had an opportunity but didn't see it. And then comes out for Youngmans. Youngmans feeds it up the wall to Tyree. Tyree trying to get it out of the zone. He gets checked, but did get it out of the zone. And back the other way comes Sterling Nash, 6'2 junior out of Edmonds, Washington. And I stood next to Sterling Nash downstairs, and he looks far taller than 6'2. Kimball chases it in, but they're going to call an icing on the dump on the other side of the red line. So a face-off deep inside the Eagle zone on the icing. Sometimes you have to worry about the descriptions of the players, coach. I stand next to some of these guys, and they list them at 6'2", and they look like they're about 6'7".
Well, normally you cheat the other way. You know, that 5'9" guy is 6 feet tall all day long.
Murray and Grongstad on the draw. Grongstad wins it. Takes a return feed, does Hecklinger in front of the shot, stopped by Kunin for his big first save of the game on a shot by Frederick Pennell, the sophomore out of Beaumont, Ontario, Canada. And then kept in by Pennell with a close to high stick, but he feeds it to Hecklinger. Hecklinger dumps it around the boards where Grongstad fights for it. O'Connell back there with Murray as well. Pennell jumps into the fray. 5-man behind the net. Murray comes out with it, goes high in the air and just gets it out. Gloved down by the assistant captain, Michael Schaff, junior out of Nashua, New Hampshire. O'Connell goes behind his back to Rieger. Rieger feeds it up the center, and a nice touch pass to Baxter Kimball. In over the line on left wing, takes a low shot that just missed the net and fooled Alfama a little bit. Pacheco tried to chop it in, lost it. Played by Prifrell across to his D-man Schaff and gets it out of the zone, but Glassroot picks it up outside at center ice, sends it back in. Santoro fakes the slap shot from deep in the corner. It's then stolen by Byman, who gives to his D partner Schaff. Schaff chipped it up the wall, out the center. Pacheco there at the red line tried to keep it going, but then taken away by Kimball. Excuse me, that was Norling. Norling ahead to Swain, who takes a wrist shot, gloved by Alfama. He dropped it, and it's played back out the center. Good pace by the Eagles early on, getting some shots on Alfama. Dumped in, Swain chasing after it. Schaff first one in there, but Swain comes up with it. Swain far to near, tries a wrap-around shot. Puck lay there for a moment as Alfama couldn't find it. Good play by Swain, but knocked out of the blue paint area and sent into the near side corner. Swain fighting off with Byman. Byman comes away with it, chips it up the wall, and finally dumped out the center, and this is going to be an icing as it was dumped all the way down the ice by Nuzolo with 4:52 gone in period one. Still no score, but the Eagles 5 or 6 shots early on.
Yeah, you can watch, if you watch Worcester State, very similar to the Albertus game we broadcast on Tuesday, like how they cut the ice in half and come to the neutral zone. Not quite as tight, as close support as Albertus had, so that's giving Post a little bit of opportunity, and they're doing a good job of transitioning right now.
Howell and McDougall on the face-off draw, won by McDougall, chopped out the center by their captain, Matthew Nuzolo. But this may be an icing, and it will be, as Kennedy goes all the way back to touch up. So all those players come right back on the ice for Worcester State. Lancers 6-5-3 on the season, 1-2-2 in MASCAP. They're 5th in the MASCAP. Eagles 3-9-1 overall, 2-5-1 in the NE10, currently tied for 5th. Face-off won by the Lancers again, but the puck just sort of stayed in the circle and taken out by Nuzolo. Gives to peripheral as everybody changes behind him. Spins away from the check of Hope. Puck props free and taken by McMains. McMains carries it out of his own zone, taken down. Looking for a call. There will be a penalty on the play. McQuegan sends it in off the official, where the Lancers will touch up, and the Eagles will go on their first power play of the game. That should be. Looks like a tripping call at 5:23. Let's just see who gets it. It's going to be Brady Carpenter, the junior out of Peabody, Massachusetts. And the Eagles will go to their first power play of the game. Eagles 8 for 51 on the man advantage, 15.6%. That's currently last in the NE10. Worcester State on the penalty kill, 42 for 49, 85.7%. That is third in MASCAC.
Yeah, it's a tough penalty to take. It's in the offensive zone, and you're really by yourself. There are a lot of guys back, so probably one they want back for sure.
Lancers try to clear it out, send it back to the point to Murray, but it does end up going out of the zone and all the way back to neutral ice, where Kennedy plays it. Kennedy over to Murray, who dangerously plays it back to himself. Up at center, dumps it around, still going with it, trying to get to it before it could get dumped out. It goes off the netting, though, inside the Lancer zone where the faceoff will be. Murray bobbled that dangerously, chipped it to himself twice, and then had it taken off his stick and thrown into the near side crowd.
Right now, the teams are keeping the officials on their toes, too. Some dodging there going on out there.
Officials don't get enough credit either at times, Coach. Hard job, and they get smacked around by pucks and sticks all the time. Nuzolo and Santoro. Nuzolo wins that one. Rims it around over here from Lombardi, who sends it right up the middle and all the way down. Kennedy, being chased by Nuzolo, goes behind his own net to restart the power play. That's lost 35 seconds so far. Kennedy drops it for Swain, who left it there, fell down, but managed to sweep it away. Otherwise, it would have been a breakaway from Lombardi, who also fell down. But the Eagles will regroup. 50 seconds gone in their first man advantage. Kennedy, fancy move at center, brings it in over the line, swings it to right wing to Kimball. Kimball looking for Swain, rolls off a leg and a stick, kept in momentarily, then pops out the center where Lombardi will play it all the way over here for Nuzolo, who will just stick it in and go off on a line change. 50 seconds remaining on the Eagles' first power play. Santoro behind his own net. We'll leave it for Rieger. Santoro going off on a line change. Rieger will start it now. Rieger comes out from behind his own net, being watched closely and carefully by Miles Kidd. Howe gives to Rieger, chips it up ahead on, looked onside, but they'll say offsides. And as I say, the officials have a tough job. Linesman touch out of position because he had to move because of Howell. Might not have had the best angle on that call.
Yeah, the other thing, too, Worcester State so far is doing a nice job of just not letting Post attack with speed. They're doing a good job in the neutral zone of angling and taking away that part of the Post game.
Gazzardi to McMains to McQuegan over here on left wing. He'll have some speed carrying it in over the line. He's chop checked but continues moving forward, dumping it behind the net, picked up over here. Back to the point it goes, D to Rieger. Rieger fakes, holds, takes a shot toward the net. It gets blocked in front, doesn't get to Alfama. McMains tries to send it toward the net, deflects behind the net. McQuegan has it. Howell picks it up on the far side corner. It's back to the half wall. McMains takes a shot right on. Rebound later from McQuegan in front, chopping it, and now a backhand shot by McMains. Gets blocked in front again, doesn't get to Alfama. Power play over, Eagles 0 for 1, but they're applying some pressure. still in the zone. Finally brought out by 23 Sean Tyree. He gets to the red line and doesn't dump it in, which sent his center Sterling Nash off sides. With 7:42 gone in the first period, still no score here. Eagles 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Lancers did a good job also applying pressure, Coach. They didn't just let the Eagles move it around. They went to where the puck was.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good penalty killing right there. You got to attack, make them be good.
Puck coming right towards us, but does not hit the netting in front of us. Instead, it's played by Kennedy on the near side corner. He'll send it around to Hope on the far side. Good forecheck by Nick Weber, the former Eagle. Back for the first time here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, the former NE10 Rookie of the Year, Nick Weber, making his return to the Sports Center this evening. Puck laid in the middle of the slot where Kennedy came down to play it. He'll spin in the near far side corner, dumps it behind the net to McCowell. McCowell tries to center it in front. It gets blocked, sent to the half wall to Lombardi, who gives to Weber. Weber gets before the red line, but it deflected off an Eagle stick, so that won't be an icing. So Hope will play it behind the net with two forecheckers from the Lancers right on in front of him. McCowell played it, nearly turned it over, then fed it to Mateo Pekka. Pekka at the red line, gets chopped at the blue, gives it to McCowell, dumps it in. Eagles go for a line change. Alfama falls down behind the net, but he was able to get it to his defenseman, and then up on right wing to Pennell. Pennell over the line, on left wing, carries it, dumps it in. O'Connell gets there first, plays a nice puck away from Pennell, gives it up to Beckett, gives to Kimball. Kimball out of the zone, before the red line, tries a high chop into the zone. It gets blocked and pops free at center ice, and back the other way comes Hecklinger. Hecklinger on a three-man weave, gives to Pennell, centering in front, but Cooney makes a big save on the deflection by Miles Kidd. Affectionately known on our roster sheet as the 19th player, who was driving towards the net and took a nice centering pass, but Ben tall to the task, making the save with 9:15 gone in period number one.
Yeah, you can see where, Post, I think, has had the better of the play this period, but you can see the skill and the ability of Worcester State. When they do get a chance, Ben has to come up big. He's got to come up with a couple good ones so far.
Santoro and McDougal on the faceoff. To Alfama's left. One by McDougal behind his net. Chip to center. Kennedy faked the slap in, gave it to Hope. Hope will get to the blue line, dump it in cross corner where Gazzardi has it. Gazzardi spins away, tried to center it in front, nearly did the Swain, goes back to Hope on right point. Hope dumps it toward the net with a shot stopped by Alfama, and he makes a save. Looked like Hope was going to rim it around the boards. Instead, he shot it. Alfama had to make a save he wasn't prepared for with 9:37 gone in the first period. Still no score. Eagles make the offensive change. Here's Howell, Norling, and McQuegan on. McDougal still in the faceoff for the Lancers. Shot one off the faceoff, stopped by Alfama. Back to the point to Hope on right point. Sends it toward the net. It's blocked off the hand of Nuzzolo. Another Lancer player falls down on the ice in the near side corner. Lancers try to get it out, but Howell does a good job to keep it in. Sends it toward the bouncing puck, and they score! Parker Norling found a bouncing puck. It looked like a bad turf play in baseball. It just bounced this way to Alfama and bounced off Alfama's pad right to Parker Norling. And at 9:56, the Eagles get on the board. It's 1-0. For Norling, that is goal number 2 on the season for Parker Norling, the junior out of Andover, Minnesota.
And it's nice to see the 19th player when they get the opportunity to finish off like that.
We'll get you the assist. Not sure if the shot was deflected multiple times, but it looked like the old grass at Shea Stadium where the baseball would just take weird and funky hops. It just bounced its way to Alfama. It took a weird bounce right before it got to him. He made the save, but Norling was wide open for the rebound, and he backhanded it into a gaping hole in the goal. Right now it's going to be Norling, his second from McGuigan at 9:56, and the Eagles take a 1-0 lead, just as they did on Tuesday. So good start for the Eagles. Have had some pressure, But I'll say on the other side, the Lancers were down 1-0 last night and then popped 11 straight. So a lot of hockey still to go here this evening at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We give you both the pros and the cons here on the broadcast. Pekka, deep in the far corner, comes away with it, tried to center it to Murray. It bounces again and then hopped over the stick of Glassroot. Ice very choppy this evening as pucks have taken some weird bounces and a couple players have fallen so far. Here's Rieger at center, makes a fancy move, goes to his knees, loses the puck, and it's sent back to center where O'Connell will play it. O'Connell spinning in his own zone. Lancers changed behind the play, tried to get it up to Santoro. No, that was Kimball, not Santoro. But is chopped out of play with 8:44 to go in the first period, 1-0. Don't forget to stay with us in the first intermission. We'll go around a vastly busy post-university sports scene. Women's hockey, big win yesterday against Assumption as they attempt to move up in the NEWHA and get a home game in the first round of the playoffs. Basketball plays today as well, so we'll get you a recap of the post-university sports scene in intermission number 1. Rieger chips it in over the stick of McBain's, but played at the defense of Michael Schaff. Schaff turned it over to Kimball, who sent a shot toward the net, and then taken away by Schaff again. Now up on left wing is Nick Weber. Weber over the line. The former Eagle tries to go around Rieger, and he wasn't having it. Then a shot toward the net, stopped by Kunin, but Weber right there. Then Weber in front took a pass on his knees and shot it into Kunin, who makes another save. Again, Coach Nick Weber, former NE10 Rookie of the Year, making his return after 3 years to the Sports Center of Connecticut. He had a goal and assist in that 11-1 game yesterday.
Yeah, that was a nice play. It was good. He's always a skilled player, and you saw quite a bit of that right there.
Won't forget that hat trick and 5-point game he had with the overtime win in his rookie season, one of the highlights of that postseason of 3 seasons ago. One into the corner to Hecklinger. This fourth line of the Lancers has been their best so far in period number 1, and the puck sent out to center. Pennell rims it around the boards, but Ben will stop it behind the net. He'll leave it for Hope, although dangerously almost turned it over. Good thing Hope was there, and then Hecklinger comes up with it. Hecklinger turns and spins a shot that deflects over the net and wide. Came all the way over to the near side. Now back behind the net again. It hops over Hope's stick, and Grongstad has it. Grongstad back to the point to Tenera. Tenera with a long shot that gets deflected right on. Ben tries to cover it. It goes behind him, then recentered in front off of Kunin and played by Scotty Swain. Again, some funky bounces so far in the first period. Kunin turned it over but managed to make the save. And back the other way comes Santoro. Takes his return puck from Norling. Santoro closes in with a shot short side, stopped by Alfama. He got the right pad on it as Santoro with speed came up on left wing. Now back over the line comes Quigley. Quigley with speed toward the net. Turned it over to Glassroot, who then sends it to Pacheco. Pacheco chipped it up to Norling, who's the goal scorer. A little bit too far, but then Norling plays it off his body ahead on right wing. Norling centers it in front nicely to McQuiggan right on, and a big stop by Alfama. Rebound, puck bouncing for Norling. It took a shot that just goes through the paint. Howell checks off the Lancers defender, and here they come 2-on-3. Nuzolo over the line. Checked by Pacheco. He continues on to the far side corner, sends it around the net to McDougal. McDougal hit hard by Pacheco on the Zamboni door, plays it back to the point. McQuiggan tries to chip it out and does get it to center as it hopped over the stick of Costa. Sent right back in. Lancers go off on a line change, and Pacheco will start behind his own net with 6:25 to go in the first period. 1-0 Eagles on a Parker Norling goal. Long pass, tipped down all the way, no icing, so McDevitt will chase after Costa. McDevitt forces the pass around to Costa. That was Youngman's actually to Costa, and then they shot out the center where O'Connell will play it. Nice quick pass ahead to McCall. McCall on right wing over the line, takes a shot toward the net. That's the flex. O'Connell from his D-man down low, looking for Pekka. He had him. High slot area, but it rolled past Pekka's stick and all the way down. Good look by McCall. Then a dangerous centering pass in the middle. Soccer style, kicked away by O'Connell. Taken by Grambois. Grambois, nice pass over here for Costa. Costa comes back over here. On right wing to Tyree, who tees up a shot that goes wide on a wrist shot by Sean Tyree, the freshman out of East Quogue, New York. Puck chipped ahead. McCall lost his footing, and back the other way comes Tyree for the Lancers. Tyree over the line, stick checked by Rieger. Tyree picks it up in the corner, chipped it up the half wall, but stolen by Beckett, and a long pass ahead. Looking for Connor Murray. He's got a breakaway from the blue line, and Murray walks in. Shot stopped right on with a left pad of Alfama as Murray took a nice pass by Beckett on a breakaway. But a nice left pad save by Donovan Alfama, the junior out of Douglas, Mass, keeping this game 1-0. Coach, Eagles seem a little quicker, some good passes, and Murray there had a breakaway, but a big save by Alfama.
Yeah, Post is doing a really good job tonight of supporting that puck, and that's what's giving them that opportunity. They're playing that 2-1 game that we've talked about much better.
Bouncing puck again off the faceoff win, hops over Kennedy's stick, so the Eagles will restart at center. Kimball backhands it into the far side corner. Now behind the net, tried to play up the wall was Tunera. He rims it to the half wall and a nice outlet pass. Looking for the streaking Nick Weber, and he'll pick it up on right wing. Weber over the line, stops, waits, centers in front. Looking for Lombardi, sticked away by Kunin and back to the point where Hecklinger had it. Excuse me, that was Tunera. Puck sent back out the center. Deep on right wing, Beckett will pick it up, shot toward the net, sticked away by Alfama. A little extra jump in Nick Weber's step, coach, as he returns this evening, you can see. And then puck sent into the Lancer bench with 4:33 to go in period one. Still 1-0 Eagles.
Yeah, Post doing a good job with the pace. I mean, both teams played last night, but really right now it looks like the Post, at least in this period, has the better legs.
Face-off at center, Santoro and Hecklinger on the draw. Won by Santoro, gave to Gazzardi. Glassrud to Pacheco, looking for Gazzardi, but too far, and played by the defensive Quigley. Quigley turns it over at center. Gazzardi dumps it in from near to far all the way around to Scotty Swain. Swain picked it up on the half wall, goes behind the net, being ridden on a check. And then behind the play, there'll be a penalty for slashing. And I think the Eagles are about to go to their second man advantage here at 15:45. Or no, they're going to call it on the Eagles, actually. Joe Santoro, 2 for slashing at 15:45, so the Eagles will actually be shorthanded. My apologies. And that puts Worcester State on the man advantage, 15 for 61 on the power play, 24.6%. That's third in MASCAC. Eagles 36 for 41 on the penalty kill, 87.8%. That's second in the NE10. Santoro 2 for slashing at 15:45. Sterling Nash on the draw with McCall, won by McCall, given to Pacheco and sent all the way down the ice.
Eagles penalty on number 29, Joe Santoro, 2 minutes for slashing, time of the penalty, 15:45 of the first.
Here comes Jacob Costa, pass to Sterling Nash, gives up on left wing, and Nuzzolo centered in front looking for a pre-frill, but a good back check by Pacheco prevented that tap in, and the puck kept in by Nash. Nash looking for Nuzzolo, puck pops in the air, glove down, and then another penalty taken by Glassrud, and the Eagles will be 2 men short for 90 seconds at 16-16. As Weber caught the shot taken from the point, dropped it down behind the net, and then was taken down by his former teammate, Tanner Glassrud, and the Eagles will be shorthanded 2 men for 90 seconds at 16-16.
Yeah, we'll see curious to see, because they have a good power play, how they run this power play with the 5-on-3.
Norling, Rieger, O'Connell, the Eagle 3, face-off won by the Lancers. Over here for Quigley, gives down low to Carpenter. They play catch, Quigley and Carpenter, and Carpenter has it. Back to Quigley, top of the near circle, goes across to the D. Down low to Lombardi. Lombardi checked by Rieger. Rieger trying to take that puck away. It's kicked away behind him, but played by Lombardi out. Lombardi tries a power move toward the slot area. Comes back over here, passing it still to Lombardi. Didn't take the shot. Looking for the one-timer by Carpenter, but a tight pass and too much. Shot toward the net, deflected right on, rebound toward the net, but he didn't get all of it. Was Lombardi. Kunin made the first save, kicked it over to the far side, but Lombardi couldn't get anything on it. And Ben made the second save. Lombardi, top of the far circle, gives it down low to Grandwall, in front to a centering pass that was fanned on by Tyree, and the puck sent all the way down the ice.
That's one he's going to want back. That was a really well-conceived play.
Back in they come as Carpenter shot toward the net, goes wide. Kunin lets it bounce, and then a net off the mooring situation.
Yeah.
With 33 seconds remaining on the 2-man advantage, 2:47 to go in the first period. I was about to say before the couple of opportunities that Worcester State had passed up a couple of nice shot opportunities, trying too hard for a one-timer. Then they had a couple of nice setups shortly thereafter.
Yeah, that's the thing with a 5-on-3. Sometimes you can get so caught up in trying to make that perfect play, you don't take those shooting lanes when they're afforded to you.
Weber on the draw, won the face-off over here for Costa. Costa gives in the middle to Nuzolo, down low to Prefro, the captain. Back to Nuzolo. Over here for Nash. Nash, bottom of the circle, goes back to Costa. Top of the right point. Now a three-man game as they look for Weber in the bumper position. Far side, Prefro to Nuzolo. Nuzolo looking over here for Nash, but again, too much passing by the Lancers, trying to set up a perfect play versus just putting it on net. Weber behind the goal line, turns it over, but kept in nicely by Costa. Costa toward the net looking for a corner shot at high. First power play over, 30 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4. Murray out of the box. Prefro, center point, closing in, takes a shot toward the net that Kunin saw as the seas parted, allowing him to see it. Nuzolo in the slot to Nash, and he scores. Nash between the circles just rips a wrist shot past Kunin. It's a power play goal at 18:02. And the Lancers, despite what seemed to be a little bit of overpassing, calmed it down on the 5-on-4 and get a goal at 18:02.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because on that 5-on-3, that type of shot was available all day long. But they were just, I guess that's what they draw up is a pass to the back door. And they had opportunities on it too, but guys just fanned on that a little bit. But so we got an even game with couple minutes left here in the period. Time to rebound from that and get back at it.
For Nash, the junior from Edmonds, Washington, his second goal of the season. We'll get you the assists as soon as we can. Shot by the Eagles, came right back in, stopped by Alfama. Nice play by Owen Rieger to get two opportunities on net. So the goal will be at 18:02. It's a power play goal officially from Sterling Nash. And good-looking player that Nash, though I don't believe for 1 second he's 6'2". Nick Weber's listed at 6 feet, and he's like 5 inches taller than him. Puck sent around the net.
Assist by number 26, Jacob Costa, and number 13, Matthew Nuzolo.
Puck sent all the way down the ice. Played by O'Connell. O'Connell taken down. No call by any of the officials. Kimball tries to get it out the center. He can't. It's kept in for a moment and then given to Connor Murray. Murray dumps it high in the air toward the Lancer zone. Stick down by Beckett. And then turned over to McDougal. McDougal nearly turned it over, but brought back the other way is Lombardi. Lombardi chips it in, cross ice from near to far. Pacheco in there first, takes the hit, leaves the puck for Kimball, who then takes a return feed and chipped it up to McDevitt. McDevitt chasing after it. Good play by Costa to spin around and get it to his D-man and then send it to center. Puck being chopped around, left into the Eagle zone. Mateo Pekka being heavily attacked by Miles Kidd, who forces the turnover to Grongstad. Grongstad spinning in the Zamboni corner nicely. He made two fancy moves. Got it behind the net. McCowell comes up with it and now will have an opportunity to carry it out. Officially, it's Nash's second from Costa and Nuzolo. A power play goal at 18:02, and that's what's tied the game here at 1. Now with 35 seconds remaining in period number 1. Puck chips to center. Hope waiting for it at his blue line. Turned it over and sent back in by Pennell behind Kunin. Chasing after it is Kennedy. Kennedy being checked by Grongstad. And a feed up the far side wall to Howell. Howell with some speed, gets to the red line, dumps it in with 15. Nobody there in the Eagle zone to forecheck and get it, so instead a nice pass out to Nuzolo. Nuzolo carries it in over the line on left wing, tries to get around Hope, who did a good job on the body. Played the body, not the puck, but then a lead pass back to the defense. Shot taken right on by Tanera. Stopped by Kunin, and that'll end period number 1. As Tanera and Howell not happy with each other, a little pushing and shoving there. As the whistle blows. And that'll end the period number 1 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Good period for both teams, Coach. Each team's had the opportunity. Eagles did a good job killing the 5-on-3 portion of the 5-on-3 off, but then let up a goal to Sterling Nash at 18:02 to tie the game at 1.
Right, so that part we got it even. I think one of the things that Post can look for is when that puck goes from weak side to strong side, when the Lancers do that hard wrap that they do, is their strong side defenseman at that point is crashing down. So if they can win that wall battle and just chip that to the middle, to the dot area, Post can have a odd man rush going the other way. So that might be something to watch for, to see if that's something that they can do, because consistently when they feel they have the opportunity, Worcester City has been crashing down on the strong side with their defender.
That's the story through one period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut on senior night. Eagles 1, Lancers 1. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a look around the post-university sports scene. You're listening and watching the Post-University Hockey on the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Lancers from Worcester State and the Post-University Eagles tied at 1. Goals by Parker Norling, his second for the Eagles, and Sterling Nash, his second on the power play for the Lancers. First period intermission, we go around the Post-University sports scene. It's brought to you by Post-University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From its nationally ranked men's soccer team, who have made the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row, or the brand new women's flag football team slated to start in the spring of 2026. Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post-University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, it's 2026. Did you get a gift this holiday season you really didn't like? Did your aunt buy you a shirt 3 sizes too big or 3 sizes too small? Well, it's a new year. Let's fix that by getting something you want, and that's some Post Eagle gear and branded items. You go to posteagles.com, click on the fans tab, then choose school store on the left-hand side. Shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code EXTRA15 to receive 15% off any order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's EXTRA15, EXTRA. 1-5. It'll expire tomorrow, Sunday, January 11th. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll start with women's hockey, coming off a big 2-1 overtime victory yesterday to Assumption. Up at Assumption, Eagles were 4 minutes away from losing 1-0, but Jody Rose tied the game late in the third period, and then Emma Hohen in overtime sealed the comeback win against Assumption, and their return from winter break with the win. The Eagles moved to 7-13-1 on the season, 7-7-1 in the NEWHA, while Assumption fell to 8-11-2 overall, 8-5-2 in the NEWHA. The Greyhounds did outshoot the Eagles 38-15, but the Eagles came out with a big 2-1 win. Hannah Saunders in the net for the Eagles held the pipe strong, and the Eagles with a gigantic 2-1 win to start the winter portion of the campaign. Up to the minute score as they are playing game 2 of the series right now, and Tristan Curry scores 3:42 into the third. Eagles trail Assumption 2-1 with 15 minutes to go. In the third period, Eagles trailing by 1. Head coach Brandon Brown, the youngest coach in Division I and former men's Eagles goaltender, leads the team up there, trailing 2-1. 15 minutes to go up at Assumption. We'll see if he can get you an update as the game goes on. Any WHA standings, the Eagles still in 6th, but 2 points behind LIU, 5 points behind Assumption, so a big game for the Eagles today to get themselves right back into the mix. And lots of hockey left to go in the NEWHA. St. A's, Franklin Pierce, Stonehill, Assumption, the top 4 currently in the NEWHA. Men's basketball, they fall to Goldie Beacom today, 83-73. That's the second consecutive loss after losing on Tuesday to the College of Staten Island. Derek Thomas, 23 points, 6 rebounds. Taquan Williams, 13 and 5 for the Eagles, who fall 83-73 to Goldie Beacom. Ameriquai Jones, 24 for Goldie Beacom. Trey Powell with 18. As the Eagles fall to 4-10 overall, 3-3 in the CACC this season. Eagles, who made the NCAA tournament for the first time last season, struggling a bit this year to find their footing, and fall today 83-73. Eagles will host Caldwell University on Wednesday up at the Drubner Center on campus for their home return to start the, actually they did play Georgian Court earlier, so their home return after the 2-game road trip will be Caldwell University at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday up at the Drubner Center. As for the women, Alyssa Rossignol had 20 points for the third consecutive game, but the Eagles fall to Goldie Beacom 65-48. That drops the Eagles to 2-8 overall, 0-5 in the CACC. Goldie Beacom now 3-12 overall, 3-5 in the CACC. Lady Eagles will now host on Wednesday at 5:30 up at the Drubner Center. They will host Caldwell University. So men and women both on Wednesday, 5:30, 7:30. Women 5:30, men 7:30 up at the Drubner Center. So go support your basketball programs in the CACC as they continue to try to get out of the hole and climb up the standings. Four football players rather, on the post-university football team land on the CSC Academic All-District team for head coach Adam Schultz. That'd be sophomore running back Adonis White, senior quarterback Malachi Taylor, sophomore outside linebacker Joey Poland, and sophomore outside linebacker Sir Paris Jones. In order to qualify, student-athletes must complete in 90% of their institution's games and play at least 66% of the games. The entire list of honorees, which includes NCAA, Division I, Division II, Division III, and NAIA, can be viewed at posteagles.com to check out all the players who made it. But 4 Eagles make that list. Congratulations to all 4 of them. That's your look around the post-university sports scene here for a Saturday night at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton. We'll come back with Coach Pease Whitney's thoughts, recap of the first period, and the stats and all the fun stuff that we do here on the Post-University Sports Network. You're listening and watching the Post-University Hockey on the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. 1-1 is the score. Some scoring changes, which is always fun when what they told you originally and what they announced is what they changed. So Parker Norling opened the scoring on a bouncing shot taken by Hugh McQuegan and found a loose puck off a rebound, backhanded it into a gaping cage for his second of the season. Give McQuegan and now Jacob Howell an assist. For McQuegan, his third assist. For Howell, his fourth at 9:56. And the Eagles were down 2 men for 90 seconds. They killed off the 5-on-3 portion, but could not kill the 5-on-4 portion off as Sterling Nash took a pass right between the two circles here in front of us and ripped a wrist shot past the glove of Ben Cunine to tie the score at 1 on the power play at 18:02. Take away the assist to Jacob Costa and just leave it as 1 assist for Matthew Nuzzolo at 18:02, and that's where we are 1-1. Shots on goal as even as the game, 13-12. Face-offs 13-9 in favor of Worcester State. Coach, I thought the Eagles had some good offense, particularly in the first 15 minutes or so until that 5-on-3 sort of tilted the ice a little bit. But I liked what I saw, a little bit more motion, a little bit more shooting, and it reflects in the stats, 13 shots on goal, and they did get a goal by Parker Norling.
Yeah, like I said, I think 5-on-5, that period, Post was the better team, and they are doing a good job of, it looks like consciously they're trying to play a little bit more of that 2-on-1 player game where you're getting some closer support. And again, like the danger with the Lancers, and you can see it, is they're a skilled team, then they move the puck well, and they kind of lull you a little bit, similarly to like an Albertus. And they move that puck and they make some plays. Ben's had to make some grade A saves for sure.
Team's getting ready to take the ice for the start of period number 2 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Don't forget to join us Tuesday afternoon, 1 p.m. puck drop, 12:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network as the Eagles will get back into NE10 conference play, and they will host Assumption. That's a big game for the Eagles. They definitely want to go in with a win here this evening, if they can. Assumption is only 7 points ahead of the Eagles in the battle to get up into the top 3 in the NE10. Eagles come back to the ice. While we wait for them to come back, let's see if we can get you an update on scores around the NE10 this evening. Get you an update on the women, who now trail 3-1 to Assumption up at Assumption this evening. Salve Regina and St. Mike's this afternoon. St. Mike's wins 2-1. Coach mentioned that earlier after taking an 8-2 drubbing yesterday. And Franklin Pierce and Framingham State. Franklin Pierce coming off the 11-1 loss. They'll be at Framingham State. That game doesn't start for another 8 minutes, so that'll get underway shortly. Oh, St. A's and Assumption, they played today. Conference game. Coach with better eyes than I have. 3-3 late in the third period. Assumption and St. A's up at St. A's. So a close battle in the NE10 here on a Saturday night. Eagles wearing the whites, going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The Lancers in the blue and gold, or blue and yellow. That's a little more yellow than gold. Going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Murray and McDougal on the faceoff, won by Murray this time, and Pacheco took it, tried to send it into the zone. Instead, it gets returned all the way into the Eagle zone, and Glassrud will play it on the far side corner. Chipped it up to Kimball, too far, all the way down the ice. It should be an icing, and it is. Sometimes we have to wait to make sure the back linesman had his arm up. He did in that situation, and we played a full 16 seconds, and the faceoff deep inside the Eagle zone to Ben's right. 1-1 the score. Murray and McDougal will do it again. And McDougal wins that one to Nuzzolo. Nuzzolo centers it in front, stopped by Cunine, and chipped over the net where Nuzzolo plays it again. Nuzzolo chipped it up into the corner. A big hit there laid on by Murray. Murray tries to chip it up the half wall to Kimball, who fanned on his dump out of the zone, but got it to center. Sent right back in by Byman. Byman rims it from far to near. Pacheco tries to send it up the wall. It's blocked. Glassrud there to help out. Pacheco back up the wall again. And nice chip play to center where Murray will take it but have it slashed off his stick by Tenera. Glassrud has it, shoots it high in the air off the glass. It's gloved by Quigley, sent right back in, and the Eagles hemmed into their own zone in the first minute of the second period in a 1-1 hockey game here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for joining us on the Post University Sports Network, comprising of the CACC Network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. Linesman almost got drilled in the head, then he got drilled in the butt. Santoro took it off his butt, sends it toward the net looking for a deflection of Gazzardi. Swain picks it up on the near side. Swain brings it toward the blue line, tries to dump it in as they cycle around. Gazzardi does a good job keeping it in, sends it down to Santoro, closes in on the goal line. Spins away from the check, comes back to the top of the near circle, sends it across the ice on a dangerous pass, turns it over to Nick Weber, who gives it up here on left wing to Carpenter. It rolls off his stick back to Kennedy. Kennedy at the red line, like a nice pass here for Hope. Hope just onside, keeps it in, turns around, fans on a pass, takes it again, closes in toward the net, takes a shot that gets blocked. Blocked by the combination of Lombardi and Tenera, and then they send it all the way down the ice for an icing. Some dangerous plays up by the Eagle, by the Lancer blue line rather, by the Eagles, but Hope managed to keep it in, take a shot that got blocked and then sent down for icing.
Yeah, one basic there for the kids that are watching is really important to stop on pucks. There, a couple of times, both sides, those pucks could have been kept in or gotten out easier if you just stop on the puck and make a play on the puck.
Howell and Carpenter on the draw, one by Carpenter back to his defense. They'll go D to D and attempt to get it out with Quigley. Quigley turns it over at center. It's sent right back in around the boards, hops over Alfama's stick. Played by McMains into the near side corner. Now behind the net, Howell chasing after Quigley. Quigley tries to get away from McQuegan, but he does a good job to keep it in. Now McMains has it. 2-on-1 down low and a shot that's taken just wide. Glove is off the hand of Lombardi, who goes to the bench. Eagles have a 5-on-4 for a moment while Lombardi skates to the bench and he appears hurt. That puck goes off the glove as Nick Weber tried to break away. And a break for the Eagles as it went off that glove sitting right in the slot area. Weber comes back in, has it sticked away, and then sent back out on left wing on a break for Howell. Howell, 1-on-1 over the line with a shot into the pads of Alfama, who makes the save. O'Connell chops it down, gloved by Youngmans. His stick gets chopped away. There's going to be a penalty on the Eagles. I don't know why the whistle didn't blow since O'Connell's the one who sent it behind the net. But a delayed penalty for slashing upcoming. Eagles change some players out as it's 6-on-5 right now. And pass comes up on left wing to Youngmans. Goes far across the ice and is accepted. Closing in with a shot that gets deflected wide as Grambois had a nice pass from Youngmans. And now a slashing penalty at 3:08 to Jacob Howell. Not sure why the play wasn't blown dead because O'Connell's the one who sent it behind the net long after that arm was up. But play on anyway, so the Lancers had some 6-on-5 time and the Eagles back to the penalty kill. Worcester State 1 for 2 on the man advantage.
Yeah, big draw here and big penalty kill up the post.
Senior night here in Shelton. Good crowd on hand. Lots of family, friends, and alumni here at the Sports Center of Connecticut on a Saturday night in January. Santoro lost the draw, goes back to the point. Quickly D to D where Prefrill has it. Prefrill on left point. Sends it down to the half wall. Looking to spin it back to Quigley is Nash, the goal scorer. Nash does get it back to Quigley, who takes a return feed to Nash. Nash closes in with a shot, looking for the corner, sent it way high and way wide. That puck went nowhere near the net. Nuzzolo tried to chip it back to the point. Instead, the puck came right to Santoro, and he sent it all the way down the ice. With 30 seconds gone on the third Lancer power play, they're 1 for 2 here this evening. Quigley, sophomore out of Quincy, Mass. Gets to the red line, feeds a pass over for Zolo, but behind him and offsides because it was touch and then sent all the way down the ice. But the down the ice doesn't matter because there was an offsides. Zolo touched it. And that faceoff will be just outside the Eagle line between Murray and Carpenter. Won by Murray, back to his defense of Aiden Kennedy, the Eagle leading scorer. Kennedy shoots it all the way down the ice. For some reason, Sean Tyree moved out of the way and let it go all the way down the ice, and it did. So Jacob Costa behind his own net, the sophomore out of Cranston, Rhode Island, will begin with a minute to go on the man advantage. 5-man wave for the Lancers as they come up over the line, but a nice chop by Norling, and then turned it over with a shot that Guneen gloved. as Ben down in the crouch took the glove right at the head and stopped that shot by Brady Carpenter, 6'2", out of Peabody, Mass.
Yeah, that was a nice quick little pass, and really good eye-hand, quick coordination, shooting the puck off, and Ben up to the challenge.
50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Face-off won by McCowell. Puck sent all the way down the ice by Rieger, right on the net. So a shot on goal and a save by Alfama. Costa starts behind his own net. Interesting how they come out in a 5-man weave, do the Lancers. Gets to the red line, does Costa. Carries it in over the line. Watched by 2 Eagles. McCowell does a good job pinning him right on the half wall by the blue line. And then the puck shot in on Kunin slowly and lightly, and it's gloved by Kunin. 31 seconds remaining on the man advantage. 3:37 gone in the second period. Still 1-1.
Yeah, that first player in the middle comes up, the puck carrier. He has options on both sides with potential 2-on-1s. So he comes up the middle and he gets to choose where he thinks the best opportunity is to create that 2-on-1.
Santoro on the draw for the Eagles with Nick Weber. Santoro wins it. O'Connell tries to send it up the wall. He does, bouncing over the line and out. As unable to keep it in was Quigley. He feeds a pass to Prefrill, and a good job by Santoro forcing the Lancers back into their own zone. And we'll regroup again with 15 seconds. Nash spins away from Santoro, who's doing a good job on the penalty kill. Eagles missed a little bit of that on Tuesday after he got tossed from the game. Rieger brings it back in over the line, fakes a fancy move, sends it toward the nest. Nash takes it away. Power play about to expire, and it does. Here's Quigley up on left wing to Prefrill. Prefrill closing in with a shot that Kunin made a save on, as he could have just kept going. Instead, he took a wrist shot from about 15 feet out that Kunin got a leg on. Back to Weber. Weber tries to center it in front of Prefrill. It goes behind Prefrill's stick, and then he'll rim it around to the far side where Weber picks it up in the corner. Weber, checked by Glassroot, pinned to the wall, does a good job to let Rieger take it. And Rieger feeds a pass to Gazzardi, and here come the Eagles. Gazzardi to Santoro. Up on right wing was Swain. Over the line. Leaves it for Gazzardi. Far side. Gazzardi toward the net on the backhand. Looking to center in front. He did. It's in the blue paint. It lay there for a moment, and Alfama has to jump out and dive on it as it was dangerously left at the top of the crease. 5:43 gone in period 2. We remain 1-1. Lancers go to 1 for 3 on the man advantage.
Yeah, I think the defenseman lost sight of that. Didn't realize the puck was actually right in his feet.
Couple of 21s to the left of Alfama. That's going to be Grongstad for the Lancers and Murray for the Eagles. One by Murray. Kimball takes a shot that gets blocked by 3 Lancers and brought back the other way. Over the line is Pennell. Pennell gives it to right wing. A fan shot. Rebound shot taken. Stopped by Kunin, who stayed with that puck even though the first shot was fanned. And Hecklinger put it right on net, and Kunin made the save. Now a centering pass out in front behind Hecklinger. Comes back to the point. Long shot taken wide by Schaff. Byman comes in, leaves it behind for Hecklinger. Hecklinger rims it around from near to far. Pinned on the half wall, taken by Hecklinger, then turned over finally to Pacheco. Pacheco looking to get it out, gives to Beckett. Beckett chopped it up, could have had a 2-on-1 if he got it to Kimball. Instead it was turned over. Puck bouncing everywhere. Here's Grongstad in over the line. Grongstad looking for Pennell, tries to backhand pass. He does, but through the paint it went for no opportunity. Then a long shot taken from the point, blockered away by Kunin and picked up by Holden Beckett on the near side. Beckett was high in the air, just giving the Eagles time to make a line change. And here's Jacob Costa. Costa with speed, out of his own zone, to the red, to the blue, over the line, on right wing, continues on, centers it in front, and a stop by Kunin. As that puck was centered to Grambois, and a lot of speed by Jacob Costa. And the Eagles now playing defense, just trying to get the puck out of their own zone. Long shot taken in, but the Lancers are offside. They changed inside the zone. And good play by Glassroot just to let Grambois touch it. This should be an intentional offside, you would think, but they're probably not going to call that. 7 minutes in the period, too.
Yeah, you don't see that called that often. I will say the post has to kind of tighten up a little bit. That little bit of space they're giving, quick release from the Worcester State players for sure. So Ben's got to be on his game. But let's try to take that away. Let's try to close our gaps a little bit quicker and get in those shooting lanes.
Nash and Howell just outside the Eagle line. Well, I guess you give that win to the Eagles. You kind of call it a draw, but there's no draw on the face-off stat. So it's a win or a loss. Eagles will take the win. Nash, puck inside the Lancer zone, feeds a nice chip pass over here for Quigley. Quigley dumps it to center, past the stick of McQuegan, but Hope back there takes the puck over and gives to Howell. Howell with a nice pass on right wing to Norling. Norling in over the line with a shot that deflects over the net and behind Alfama. Howell there to help out, looking back for Norling. Norling trying to take the puck away from Tenera. Tenera rims it around the far side, kept in by Kennedy. Shot toward the net, glove by Alfama. Might have been going wide, but Alfama not taking the chance. And a face-off deep inside the Eagle zone, the Lancer zone rather, for the first time in this period.
Yeah, there's been some times here where Worcester State hasn't gotten their feet going in the D zone, and that was an opportunity there. That puck came up the wall, didn't quite move our feet, gave Post the opportunity for the defenseman to corral it and get a shot through the net.
McCall, McDevitt, and Pekka. A new version of Run PMC, just with some different players. But to be fair, not the original. McDevitt chipped it up the wall, looking for McCall. Kept in the zone. McCall falls down. McDevitt comes away with it toward the net, looking for a shot. Just went wide. A pile of bodies between McDevitt and the net. Then Mateo Pekka with a big hit on a much taller man. McDevitt comes in to help out too. Doesn't like Pekka rather getting hit. Now here's Kennedy coming back in. Fancily through three in front to McDevitt, who takes a shot. Didn't get all of it, but put it right on. Then Pekka dumped to the ice, jumped on top of by Lombardi. Pekka pops back up. Byman tries to spin away from the check of McDevitt. There's Pekka again, checking Byman. Byman can't get the puck. Puck kept in the zone momentarily. Now around Kennedy in a 2-on-1. Here's Lombardi with Carpenter. Over the line, Lombardi has to go around the body of the diving Hope. And then the net off its moorings. Good job by Hope. If you're going to go down, you got to make sure that pass doesn't get through, and he did. He forced the bad play. And the puck off its moorings with 8:28 gone in the second, still 1-1.
Yeah, the whole long body is you're all in. You're all in on that one, and it turned out in his favor. They were still able to get it around him and get it back, but there was enough of an angle where just couldn't really connect with his teammate
couldn't
on the
pass
pass.
until he was behind the net, too,
Yep.
which is,
Yep.
that cuts that off. But good play there by James Hope, 6'2", 200, out of Napierville, Illinois. Shot toward the net, blocked, kept in. Pennell around the net, looking to center, goes from near to far. He's got it in the far side corner, pimps up to the half wall, spins it down behind the net to Kidd. Kidd up the half wall. They'll cycle it back behind the net, looking for Grongstad. Hope does a good job to get over there and send it to the blue line, but not out. Rieger, far side, trying to avoid the check, turns it over momentarily. Kimball trying to get it to center, and he does, where Pennell will play it. Pennell over here for Youngman. Youngman sends it down around the boards from near to far. Rieger chipped it up the half wall to Kimball, who turned it over. Kept in by Costa. Costa closing in. Chop check, centers it toward the net, but behind all of his players and out to center. Costa, very aggressive offensively, has 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points on the season. Right back in comes Pennell. Pennell looking to send it across as he's got Prefroll over there. Then a centering pass in front. Good job by Santoro, rather, to take it away. And out come the Eagles, but a pass behind McMains prevents an offensive scoring opportunity. And Youngmans will go behind his own net with 10 minutes to go in period 1. Long pass up the middle, blocked by Santoro. Couldn't control it, though. Sent back into the Eagles zone where Rieger shot it off a body, and the puck hasn't gone out yet. Gazzardi sends it around to Glassrue. Glassrue will try the near side this time. He goes dangerously in front of his own net, but makes a nice pass to Scotty Swain. Swain up at center. He carries it in over the line, but Gazzardi could not stay on side. With 10:04 to go in the second period, Eagles on a 3-man rush go off sides and a face-off just outside the Lancer zone. Still 1-1.
Yeah, Worcester State did a really good job there of just kind of pushing Swain, delaying him a little bit, which forces Gazzardi to go off sides, and nothing he could do there. That was a really good play by the Worcester State player, the center there.
Santoro and McDougal on the draw, one by Santoro. Now Gazzardi comes right back in on left wing over the line. Gazzardi spins in the corner, looking to center. Goes back to the point to Glassrue. Glassrue toward the net, looking for the tip of Santoro. Missed his stick, went wide over right in front of us here in the broadcast center, and pops it up in the air to Prefro. Prefro in over the line, looks to send it down low. Chopped off the stick of Nuzolo into the half wall, taken by Swain behind the net. He gets checked, gives to Pacheco, feeds it up the wall nicely to Santoro. Santoro spins away from a check at center, gives to Pacheco, gives to Gazzardi, who sends it in around the boards. Played by Swain on the far side. Swain being checked by Quigley while everybody changes behind him, turns it over eventually, but then a bad pass right through the slot, kept in by Kennedy. Kennedy fakes the shot, gives the pass to Howell. Howell tried to center it in front. Instead, it goes behind the net to Norling. 3 Lancers there, taken by Nuzolo. Chops it up in the air high off the netting, and this faceoff will be deep inside the Lancer zone with 9:10 to go in period 2.
Yeah, again, posters are moving their feet. They're really doing a good job of taking away Worcester State's opportunities right now to get anything done in a meaningful way. They're just flipping pucks out of the zone, hoping to get them behind the D and get something from there, but there's not a lot of purposeful 2-on-1 type of team play going on.
McDougal wins the draw from Howell. Puck rimmed around to the far side wall, kept in by McQuegan. Norling does a good job to stick check the defender. Puck pops free behind the net, being checked off. The puck is Tenera. He nearly turns it over. Now McQuegan trying to take Nuzolo out. Good fight right here on the half wall in front of us. Puck goes into the corner, stolen by McDougal, and chipped out to center. Hope at his own blue line has the puck, turns around, looking to pass, feeds it up the middle, but nobody there. Deflects off 2 sticks all the way down to Alfama, who will cover it. Break for the Eagles there with 8:40 to go in the second. Dangerous pass right up the middle. There were 3 people there, yet there was nobody there.
Right. A lot too. Like right now on the attack, there's a lot of just individual play. One trying to beat someone one-on-one for Worcester State, whereas Post is doing a little bit better job of trying to use their teammates and move that puck around.
Puck right in the middle of the circle as nobody seems to want it. Pekka finally wins the puck, sends it back to the point. Nice keep in by O'Connell, and then finally squirts free to center, and it's taken away by Tyree. Tyree then turns it over. That should be an icing, and no, it won't be. They waved off the icing. They originally called it that, and then waved it off. So Byman feeds a pass up the middle, and this will be an icing against the Lancers, who don't look very happy because I think they thought they had an icing, and then they ended up icing it themselves.
Yeah, that one was a pretty clear icing.
Either way, face off to the right of Alfama. Donovan Alfama, the 5'7 junior out of Douglas, Mass. Nash and Murray on the draw. Won by Murray to Rieger. Rieger looks to center. He found a pass in front to Kimball as that looked like a bit of a set play. Kimball fights for it behind the net, rims up the corner, bounces off the Zamboni door. And a nice takeaway by Grambois. Grambois to Tyree. Over the line to Nash. Nash spins it toward the net looking for the stick of Tyree. And just wide on the centering pass. Kept in by the Lancer. Shot toward the net. Blocked in front. And then a rebound shot. Pops free in the crease. It lay there. And Ben jumps on top of it as Grambois tries to slap it by him. As again, puck bouncing down on that end of the ice. And then some pushing and shoving between several players. Don't think any penalties are going to come of it. Maybe everybody's just saying Happy New Year to each other.
That's probably what it is. Probably asking each other when you guys go back to school.
7:47 to go in period number 2. Still 1-1. Don't forget to join us in the second intermission. We'll go around the NE10. Get you an update on the women's game up at Assumption and recap the second period. That'll be in the second period intermission here on the Post University Sports Network. Rieger, that was Swain, high in the air, gives it to Gazzardi. A brief 2-on-1. Gazzardi over the line with a shot delayed. The rebound did Alfama for a moment and then gloved it back in as I think that was Santoro charging toward the net. It was. Eagles had a brief 2-on-1. Good job by the Lancers to get back on Santoro and make it more of a 2-on-2, but Gazzardi with a good wrist shot and the save by Alfama. Santoro wins it from Lombardi. Great job by Gazzardi. Shot penalty called on the Lancers upcoming as Gazzardi made a fancy move deep in the slot, had an opportunity, and he was hooked down. Otherwise, it would have been a better opportunity at 12:30, and the Eagles will go to their second man advantage. And it's our old buddy Nick Weber who gets 2 for hooking at 12:30.
Yeah, right there you can see Post is moving their feet, and that's the difference maker right now. That's been a difference maker in this period. They've had more grade A opportunities, and they've just been sniffing around it. So we get rewarded with a power play.
Sometimes there are good penalties. That might have been one of them because otherwise Gazzardi would have just strolled in between the circles off the fancy move and said he was taken down, preventing the goal-scoring opportunity. And the Eagles back to their power play for the second time in the game. They're 0 for 1. Rieger takes it in his own zone with speed. Feeds it over on left wing to Howell, picks it up at the red line. Howell comes in over the line. Dumps it around the boards, but into the netting. That'll lead to a face-off deep inside the Lancer zone with 1:42 to go in the man advantage and 7:12 to go in period 2. Still 1-1. Howell and McDougal on the draw. Actually, it's Prefro on the draw. Byman tries to swim it up the wall, but Rieger keeps it in. Rieger spins away as he came down the slot. Spins back top of the slot. Left wing to Gazzardi toward the net. Swallowed whole by Alfama. And then Howell and Grosstand, who've been pushing and shoving each other all game, pushing and shoving each other again. Full four-man line change for the Lancers up coming. Eagles look like they're changing their unit. Howell and Byman now talking. Eagles got to be careful. You don't want to take a bad penalty even if you're ticked. 1:30.
No. Best way to take out your frustration is put it in the back of the net and then smile. Then go do it again.
1:30 to go on the man advantage. 7 minutes to go in period number 2. Santoro on the draw with Carpenter to the right of Alfama. Won by Santoro. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy, nice chip to Murray. Murray sends it toward the net, gloved by Alfama. Nobody in front, though, to set a screen. That 5 seconds of hockey led to a shot and a save. And we'll do it again from the same spot on the ice to the right of Alfama. Santoro and Lombardi. Lombardi tossed, so in comes Carpenter. Won by Santoro, very clean. Nice job by Kennedy to keep it in. Over here to Kimball. Kimball sends it down the wall to Swain. Swain at the half wall, top of the near circle, across the ice. Nice pass to Murray, who takes a shot. A nice block in front by Quigley. Quigley tries to skate up with it. Good job by Swain to keep it in. He'll dump it behind the net to Kimball. Kimball spins away from Costa, centers it out in front. It goes off of Kennedy, pops in the air, gloved ahead by Quigley, and then turned over to Swain at center ice. And they're going to call a penalty for interference on Kennedy, and he can't believe it. I'm not sure I can either at 13:31. And that'll negate the Eagles' second man advantage. Kennedy 2 for interference at 13:31.
Yeah, I mean, that stick just randomly got caught as number 8 tried to bust out of the zone. So I guess they look at it as it took away some fashion of a scoring opportunity.
4-on-4 now. Face off to the left of Ben Cuneen, Nash, and McCowell. On the draw, won by Nash. Sent back to the point, but stolen by Norling. Norling with speed up on left wing. The defender falls down. He closes it with a shot toward the net. It gets deflected wide, and Norling taken out behind the play by Byman. As Norling just couldn't get around Byman, who fell down but managed to get himself back into the play nicely. And back the other way comes Grambois. Grambois deep into the corner, sends it back to Byman at the point. Nash in the slot, spins away from Norling, sends it down low to Grambois. Grambois looking to go back to the point, still has it on left point, then dangerously almost turns it over to Norling, but somehow got it to Nash. Nash tried to center it. He did off Cuneen, or the side of the net, not sure which. O'Connell does a good job to take his check off. Puck sent up the wall as Schaff tries to rim it out. The Eagles do a good job with 9 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. O'Connell, long pass to Rieger. Rieger, 1-on-2, gets to the blue line. Holds, waits, keeps going, feeds Howell coming off the bench. Howell closes in with a shot, stopped right on by Alfama as the 4-on-4 has expired, and now the Eagles shorthanded for the next 59 seconds on the Kennedy interference call. 5:27 to go in the second period, still 1-1.
And that was really a great save by the Lancers goaltender there, because 13 came across right at the wrong moment and screened him. I don't know how we saw that puck, but he did a good job.
Howell, who just had that shot on the draw with Carpenter. And some issue as Grambois being thrown off the ice for Weber. Not sure what that was all about. And then just for fun, they're going to kick Carpenter out of the faceoff dot. and force Tyree to take it against Howell. Tyree wins it, so after all that, Tyree wins the faceoff. Back to Lombardi. Lombardi will leave it for Costa. Here comes the five-man weave out of the zone. Costa right up the middle. Feeds a quick pass over here to Carpenter. Carpenter over the line, leaving for Nuzzolo. Instead looking for Lombardi. Lombardi now over there. 4 Lancers right on the left side of the ice. Nice check by Howell. Puck rimmed up the wall and not out. Kept in nicely by Costa, who tries to go around. Howell just checks him to the ice, and then a good job by Jacob Howell to chop at the center. Howell fighting for it, gets taken down. Eagles looking for a penalty, not going to get one, but Pacheco nearly stole the puck, just takes a stick chop up in the air. Howell takes it. Howell inside his own zone with 21 seconds to go, and now finally here comes Nick Weber. Weber, the former Eagle, over the line on right wing, tries to go around the defense. Good job there. Pacheco takes it, rims it up the wall, not out. Costa goes across the ice looking for a slap shot. He found it. Instead it was a wrist shot, and Carpenter took it from the rim of the near far circle, rather. Glassroot takes Carpenter down. Puck behind the net. Power play over. Here comes Kimball for Kennedy. Puck pinned right on the wall. 7 players behind Ben Cunine to his left, fighting for the puck. Finally, it comes free, rimmed around to Carpenter, who goes back to the point to Costa. Costa fakes the shot, top of the far circle, turns it over instead to Kimball. Kimball tries to break out with it, turned it over, kept in. Glassroot goes behind his own net, looking to feed out. He finally feeds Kimball, but it goes over his stick all the way down the ice. This will not be icing, as they don't call it. Then Bynum falls down. Byman, long shot from the point, sticked into the netting, as Glassroot took a shot from the top of the left point as Byman fell down. A couple times Byman's fell down in this period alone. Almost had the breakaway earlier. With 3:52 to go in the second, Eagles kill off the Lancers' 4th man advantage. We remain 1-1 in this up-and-down hockey game. As Murray and, let's see who's taking the draw. Gronstad will take the draw. Couple of 21s, one by Murray, and then they blow it for a unfair face-off, although Murray did a good job winning it. Although he left his glove in the circle as well. Murray and Miles Kidd. Kidd wins that face-off. That's the second time a Lancer has been thrown out of the draw, and his replacement has won the draw in the last 3 face-offs. Beckett, cross-ice dump from near to far. McMains chases after it. Puck pushed up the wall. Good job by Murray to keep it in. McMains chasing behind the net, being held off by Gronstad. Puck rimmed around to the near side. Beckett trying to fight off Pennell to keep it in. Puck rimmed back to the point to Hope. Hope looking toward the net, took a shot right off a leg, and almost a 2-on-1 for the Lancers, but Kennedy will do a good job to get back on Miles Kidd. Hope will rim it up and send it all the way down as it deflects off a stick, so no icing. Alfamo will leave it for Byman with 3:13 to go in the second, still 1-1. Long pass up the middle. It was deflected, so no icing. Kennedy's got to chase after it, though, before Kidd can get there. Kennedy tries to spin with it up to half wall, feeds a nice pass, and out comes McCall. McCall on a 2-man rush up the center, over the line, leaves it for Hope. Hope closing in, far circle shot, toward it off Pekka's leg, and right on by Alfama. If he could have gotten the stick, that would have been a goal. Instead, it went off his leg, and a nice save there. Now a 2-on-1 back to the Lancers. In front, they score! Nice centering pass by Nick Weber, and Hecklinger, I believe, put it in. Either Weber put it in or Hecklinger did. And it's Hecklinger for his first goal of the season at 17-13. And the Lancers take a 2-1 lead on a nice setup by Nick Weber.
Yeah, that was pretty much a textbook 2-on-1 there. Good speed, good puck movement. Checked all the boxes on that one.
So Weber will get 1 assist for sure. We'll see who gets the second one. It's 17-13, and it's 2-1. Worcester State right after Mateo Pekka had a really good opportunity in front of his goal. Now McQuegan spins away with his centers and in front with a shot right on. Puck lay there for a moment as McMains had an opportunity 15 feet out, and then some more pushing and shoving. Howell and McQuegan. Howell seems to be in the middle of all of this today. And we'll see what the penalties go of it. It looks like at least one to Tenera. See who else gets some box time. McQuegan and Tenera for sure, so that's at least a little bit of a 4-on-4. All of this happening with 2:33 to go in the second period. Everybody looking at everybody else, trying to figure out what exactly all the calls are. I think this will be 4-on-4. 4-on-4 it will be. Face off to Alfama's left. Eagles had a good opportunity there, but Alfama held firm.
Yeah, again, that's what we're saying. I mean, post, pace, tempo, but the Lancers, just the ability to finish when they get that opportunity.
Santoro, Swain, Rieger, O'Connell, the 4 Eagles. Tyree, Grambois, Schaff, and Byman, the 4 Lancers. Swain does a good job to keep it in before turning it over to Byman. Byman had his stock chopped out of his hand, and there's a penalty for slashing. And we're going to have a 4-on-3. I think that's Santoro, too, at 17:36. And 4-on-4 goes to 4-on-3.
Timeout. Worcester State, I think.
Timeout, Worcester State. Interesting time to call it.
Well, 4-on-3.
For 1:51.
Right. Something a little different. Probably wants to draw something up because that's not that common of a penalty that you get. So, well, how are we going to approach that?
Still haven't gotten the official scoring on the goal, but for the moment, it's Spencer Hecklinger, the junior out of Denver, Colorado, his first of the year. Nick Weber is the one who made the pass, so give him the dime in his return to Shelton. Now he's got 3 points in 2 games. Not knowing much of his situation, you have to wonder if he was injured, which is why he hadn't played very much. Either way, 3 points in 2 games.
That helps keep you in the lineup.
Officially, it is Hecklinger from Weber and Schaff, 17-13. Santoro 2 for slashing, 17-36, and now we have a 4-on-3. Norling, O'Connell, and Rieger, the 3 Eagles on the ice. Lancers 1 for 4 on the man advantage so far today, right at their 24.8% they came in with. Music still playing as Costa has it in the middle of the ice. Costa goes across the ice. Lombardi back to Costa, closes in on right point shot toward the net, blocked by O'Connell. O'Connell tries to chip it up the wall, but it's kept in by Carpenter. Carpenter tries to center in front. He did. Shot right on. Stopped by Cunin as Grambois came away with it. Costa, top the slot, holds, gives top of the far circle. Chop pass, kept in by Costa. Costa closes in, holds, waits, keeps going toward the net. Easy save for Cunin, as the Eagles did a good job forcing Costa to his right, which made Ben cut the angle off and makes a glove save there with 1:49 to go in the second, 1:25 to go on the 4-on-3. Excuse me, 1:16 to go on the 4-on-3. Nash, Prefo, Uzzolo, and Quigley, the Lancer 4. Face-off 1, Murray, Glassroot, and Pacheco, the Eagle 3. Nash to Nuzzolo, back to Nash. Nash back to Nuzzolo, across the ice for a shot. Had a space on the far near side, and just missed. It did Quigley. Quigley, top of the slot, over here on the near side, takes a return pass, goes across the ice for a shot that goes high and over the net. Nuzzolo missed it. Prefrill. Now he has it top of the slot. Goes to the far side, gives it over here for Nuzzolo. Nuzzolo having trouble keeping the puck. Gets it, though. Takes a return fee as they play catch. Closes in, looking for a shot. Nice block by the 6'7 Glassroot, who just gets a foot on it. Back to Nuzzolo. Goes across to the near side for a one-timer that stopped right on. Puck sent all the way down the ice as Quigley took that slap shot from the top of the near circle. And the puck sent all the way down the ice. Eagles able to make a change, but here's Nuzzolo. Nuzzolo over the line on the far side. Tried to pass it back to Quigley. Fanned on it. Goes across the ice for a shot that goes wide by Prefro. Recentered through too many bodies. Prefro will play it, though, here on the left point. Sends it down low on the goal line. Centering pass to in front to Quigley. He takes a shot and scores. Finally got the triangle setup they were looking for as Prefrill found Grambois, who found the goal scorer in Cam Quigley. The sophomore out of Quincy, Mass. Gets his 3rd goal of the season. And at 19-18, it's 2-1, although all of the officials are talking right at the top of the blue line. So let's see if they were thinking about waving this off or not. Doesn't look like they're going to wave it off because the referee is standing at center. But Ben is not happy. Officials over talking to Coach Richter as well, so it looks like this goal will count. At 19-19. The second power play goal for the Lancers today, and it's 3-1. And we're back to 4-on-4. So now some questions is who comes out of the box. Should be Santoro. 4-on-4 now for 8 more seconds, and we'll be back to 5-on-5. Eagles are a player short. And finally, face-off dropped. Brings it in over the line. Does McQueen with a shot. Nice right pad save by Alfama. Good job by the Eagles to get an offensive play. Now we're 5-on-5 for the last 22. Back the other way comes Carpenter. Over the line. Carpenter drag shot looking toward the net. Stopped by Kunin. Puck popped up in the air. Recentered through the slot. Spin around pass by Weber. Goes wide. Kept in the zone to Hope. Hope tries to get it out. Goes behind the net. Leaves for Kennedy with 5. Kennedy just trying to pin it there on the wall. He will, and that's how period number 2 will end. 3-1. Worcester State on a couple of late goals. One at 17-13 by Hecklinger. Give the assist to Weber and Schaff, and Cam Quigley, his third of the year, a power play goal. Momentarily just given the Grambois, but there'll be a second assist added, I'm sure, at 19-19. And Coach, 3-1. Eagles struggle to get 2 or more goals, and they're in a position where they're going to need at least 4 to win, 3 to tie.
Well, 5-on-5. I thought Post was the stronger team in that period, but again, the special teams being the difference maker in this game, right? There's a reason that the Lancers are at that 25-ish plus power play percentage, and Post has got to be aggressive on them. Talk about it and find a way to solve that. That initial rush where they come up with the 5, the one in the middle, looking to give somebody. Sometimes you can do little things like kind of fade away from that kid to give the impression that that's open, and then jump on it, like anticipate that that's what you're going to do, and not just kind of stand and just let them kind of pick you apart, which is what they've been able to do on the entrance on those power plays.
That's where we are through 2 periods here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The Lancers with 2 late goals lead 3-1. We'll come back with our look around the NE10, coaches' additional thoughts, and a recap of period number 2 in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles trail the Lancers 3-1. As the Lancers score 2 late goals, one on the power play to take a 3-1 lead. The Eagles in the locker room will look through and figure a way out and try to score 2 goals to tie and maybe get a third to win to boost themselves up. Well, we'll recap that in a little while. Now we go around the NE10 sports scene. That's brought to you by Post University, ranked as one of the top online colleges for 2025 by Newsweek. This month, January, Post is celebrating 25 years, a quarter century of empowering learners worldwide. So ask yourself, are you a Post person? Reach out today to see what Post can offer you. Online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs await. For more information on all of Post degree programs, visit campus, take a tour, or apply, because it is the application season. Go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do it today. Don't wait another minute. That's post.edu. Eagle fans, it's 2026. Did you get a gift this holiday season that you really didn't like? Did your aunt, your uncle buy you a shirt 3 sizes too big or 3 sizes too small? Well, it's a new year. Let's fix that by getting something you want, and that's some Post Eagles clothing or branded items. Go to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then click on School Store on the left-hand side and shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code EXTRA15 to receive 15% off any order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code EXTRA15, EXTRA15. It'll expire on Sunday, January 11th. That's tomorrow. You can wait. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. It's open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's go around the scores in the NE10. We'll start with yesterday's action and move into today's action, as it was a busy day in NE10 land. As you know, Westfield State defeated Post 4-1. Worcester State defeated Franklin Pierce, so the two teams we're seeing tonight, 11-1. Salve Regina 8, St. Michael's 2. This is yesterday's action. Southern New Hampshire 6, Riviere 4, Assumption 3, Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts 1. The Eagles host or play Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts coming up next week. Assumption and St. A's are 3-3 in overtime up at St. A's. So 3-3, Assumption and St. A's. That's on today's calendar. St. Mike's came back from an 8-2 drubbing to win 2-1 today over Salve Regina up in Vermont. And Franklin Pierce and Framingham State. The Rams lead Franklin Pierce 3-1. That game, start of the second period up at Framingham State. Upcoming schedule Tuesday, as we've mentioned multiple times, Assumption will be here at the Sports Center of Connecticut to play the Eagles. 1 o'clock puck drop, 12:45 pregame as the Eagles resume NE10 conference play on Tuesday. So please join us on the Post University Sports Network, comprising the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Westfield State will be at St. A's on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Franklin Pierce at Fitchburg State, 6:30 p.m. and Middlebury at St. Mike's. That's a 6:30 puck drop on Tuesday. And then Friday night, Assumption and Franklin Pierce in Worcester, 4 p.m. puck drop. Southern New Hampshire at St. Mike's, 7 p.m. puck drop. And the Eagles at St. A's for a weekend set, 7 p.m. in Manchester, New Hampshire. That's on Friday. Eagles will play St. A's again a week from tonight, 4 p.m. up at St. A's. NE10 standings. Can't include the tie yet, but Franklin Pierce still leading the way, 5-3-0 overall, 15 points in the NE10. St. Mike's 4-2-2, as is Assumption 4-2-2 for 14 points. St. A's 3-3-2 for 11 points. Southern New Hampshire and Post 2-5-1, each for 7 points. That's your look around the NE10 for a Saturday night hockey here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes with a recap of the second period, a fast-moving second period. In 2 minutes, you're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. 3-1 Worcester State over the Eagles. Goals in the second period, 2 in the last 3 minutes, actually, as the Eagles had a golden opportunity down on this end. Mateo Pekka unable to get his stick on the puck and put it by goaltender Alfama, which led to a 3-on-2 back the other way. Quickly gave it to former Eagle Nick Weber, who sent it across, and Spencer Hecklinger put it into the goal past Ben Cunneen at 17-13 for his first of the season to make it 2-1. Then 4-on-4 hockey for a mere 8 seconds when Joe Santoro took a slashing penalty and sent this to a 4-on-3. The fifth Lancer power play, and Cam Quigley found a puck on a nice centering pass by Bryce Grambois for his third of the season, a power play goal. Now 2 for 5 are the Lancers. Give the only assist to Grambois for the moment on his third at 19-19, and that's where we are, 3-1. Shots on goal in the second period, Worcester State 17, a two-period total of 29. For the Eagles 12, a two-period total of 25. Face-offs, Eagles dominant, 17-12 in the second period, now lead 26-25 overall. Coach, we bring you in, and it's a story we've seen a few times now. Eagles trailing 3-1, lacking goals, needing to find a way to get on the board, and really helping their goaltender out, who's played well, but trailing 3-1 and having to get some goals.
Yeah, again, 5-on-5, that period, Post was the better team, I thought. Tactically, Post was the better team, 5-on-5. Technically, Worcester State was the better team, because they were able to execute those plays when they were given the opportunity, and that's been the difference. Post tactically has had zone time, been moving pucks, but hasn't been able to quite connect technically and finish the job. So, again, cliche, stay out of the box, keep your feet moving, because it still looks to me like Post has more energy than Worcester State does. So hopefully that can lead to some power plays for you on the post end of things, and then technically they can start to finish.
11 seniors, we celebrate senior night here for those 11 seniors, and I know they want to get a win with their family and friends in attendance. And to your point, Coach, the Eagles have played well, just unable to get one by Alfamo. They've gotten one, but not two. And
again, you see it, like the little things, like I say about the technical piece, like the release right now of Worcester State. Their release is better. Their players get the puck, it's on and off the stick right away, and that's just a different look than Post. They have it, they set up, but then they struggle to just really snap that puck off.
You can tell it's senior night when parents are flashing baby pictures of one of their children at the Lancers as they come onto the ice. Sorry, it's funny.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's supposed to do, but
other than make me laugh, I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do either.
Take them off the game, maybe.
Yeah, stopping the puck is not the problem. it's putting one into the net that the Eagles need to do. So maybe the Santoro family needs to get over there. But Eagles trail 3-1. Team's getting ready to take the ice for the start of the third period. Here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, Jeff Nelson, the coach, Pete Whitney here with you. We thank you for joining us wherever you are here on a Saturday night, senior night here for the Eagles. They'll host Assumption and restart NE10 conference play on Tuesday, 1 o'clock on the Post University Sports Network, 12:45 pregame on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. Coach and I back with you on a Tuesday. Final score for the women, Assumption 4, Post 1, so a split of the weekend series up at Assumption. 2-1 overtime win yesterday, 4-1 loss today, as the Lady Eagles with head coach Brandon Brown split up at Assumption. Teams have taken the ice for the start of the third period. We'll see if it works. We'll see if the head on a stick intimidated the Lancers here as we start the third period. Lancers in the road, blues with yellow trim and yellow numbers going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles in the home whites going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. As we get ready for the third period, we thank you for joining us wherever you are, across campus, around the state, around the country, or around the world. Division II NCAA action here on a Saturday night at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Murray and McDougal on the draw. Eagles trail by 2, need to get some goals here, and if they can somehow get to overtime or get a win, get some momentum going forward as the NE10 conference play resumes on Tuesday here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Pacheco in his own zone, feeds to Beckett. Beckett turns it over to Prefrill. Prefrill chopped it up. Glassrue tried to send it back to center. Instead, it goes into the zone. He'll play it behind his own net, though he's checked from McDougal. McDougal immediately got the turnover. Instead, he did get it back to the point to Byman. Byman toward the net, shot off a body of McDougal into the netting behind Cunene, and 27 seconds of the third period have ticked away. Still 3-1.
Again, we see that quick puck move, that quick release again by the Lancers.
Santoro on the draw against Carpenter. Won by Santoro, taken by Gazzardi, who probably had the best chance in the second period, a whole 2-on-1. Swain to Gazzardi, over the line, shot, just missed the net. That would have brought the house down and gotten the Eagles right back into this game on that little 2-on-1 by Gazzardi and Swain. Back comes quickly the other way. He turns it over to Gazzardi. Quickly a goal and an assist in period number 2. Chips it up the wall to Swain. Swain brings it in over the line. Tried to drop it to Santoro, but it rolled off his stick. Gazzardi there to help. Swain tried to take it over. Rebound shot in front as Gazzardi turned and fired. That just goes wide. Swain tried to get it to the point. Instead, it's a turnover. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Carpenter over the line with Lombardi. Carpenter in. Shoots. Stopped by Cunene. Did a good job not to let Carpenter think about the pass. And a recentering pass. More of a shot by Lombardi. Stopped by Cunene right on. As the Eagles had some offense and turned it over. And the Lancers had some offense. And now the puck deep into the Lancer zone. Eagles trying to forecheck. Turnover. McQuegan in front. Sticked away nicely by Alfama. As McQuegan had the puck, but Alfama used his stick to take it away, and back the other way comes Tyree. Tyree leaves for Grambois. Grambois closing in, big save by Cunene. Rebound shot off the post! As Grambois made a nice move, got one shot stopped and another one saved, and then a post hit by Grambois. And the Eagles still only trail by 1. Somehow that's not offsides.
Yeah, the other guy got it.
Grambois still in the zone. Struggling to get out of the zone, but they didn't call offsides there for a second, and then they did.
I'm going to say he wasn't washing it out. He was just stretching that one. And the other guy called it.
Grambois not happy, looking back at Howell, and the Lancers have had a crooked eye towards Howell most of the game. The word pest can often be used. As Gronstad and Howell on the draw. Gronstad tossed. Last 2 times this happened, the new player won the faceoff, but this time Howell goes forward with it, a.k.a. Nico Grolman style. O'Connell fanned on his pass, turned it over, and brought back in the other way is Gronstad. Tried to get toward the net, backhands it right on, stopped by Cunene, and here comes Howell. Fire wagon hockey here to start the third period. Howell over the line, long shot, easily stopped by Alfama, as that was a 45-footer. But face off deep inside the Lancer zone. As the Eagles look like they're just opening it up right now. Maybe that's getting out of the old rhythm, just opening it up and saying, let's just go for it.
You have to. I mean, it's 3-1. You have to play that way. You have to a little bit of reckless abandon and a little more pressure on your defensemen to do their job.
Glassrud took a shot that bounced by McDevitt, came out the far side, and the Lancers send it back to center on a cross stump. Glassrud does a good job to chip it back to the Lancer line, played by Nuzzolo, but turns it over to Pekka. Pekka over the line on left wing, stops the blue line, spins around, tries to dump it down to McCowell. McCowell gets it to the corner. McDevitt came in to help, chipped up the wall. Glassrud pinches in, but couldn't keep it in, and back the other way comes Nuzzolo. Nuzzolo over the line. Drops it with Pacheco there, and then he turned it over. Now McDevitt has a break 2-on-2. There's going to be a delayed penalty, I guess, on the Eagles. Well, there might have been a penalty on the Eagles, but now there's going to be a penalty on the Lancers. And if it was not a penalty on the Eagles, I don't know why he blew the whistle dead, because they had a 2-on-2. Pacheco down behind the play. They're going to call boarding.
Yeah, the only reason I could see is he blew the whistle because the player was down in a dangerous position.
Did stop an Eagles opportunity. Pacheco up on his own power. So let's see what the official call is. I didn't see the hit, just saw the body. And I wasn't sure if there was an Eagle penalty as well, and there is. Glassford's getting 2 as well. So There was an Eagle penalty originally. So I think we're going to be 4-on-4, Coach. All of this at 2:44. The question is going to be whether it's a 5-minute penalty on the Lancers or a 2-minute penalty. So Glassrud for interference. And I didn't see who went in for the Lancers, and they still haven't put it on the board yet.
17, I think.
Google? Well, as soon as they put it up there, we'll be able to tell you.
Yep.
All of this at 2:44. So 4-on-4. Last time we had 4-on-4 for 8 seconds before Santoro took a slashing penalty. We're still waiting for everything to go up on the board. On a Saturday night here in the state of Connecticut, where college hockey thrives.
Yeah, you think about it, for a small state, the number of NCAA programs, pretty impressive.
I was thinking about that as I watched both UConn men and UConn women yesterday, which was both ranked in the top 10, by the way. So you're right, Coach. McDougal 2 for boarding at 2:44. Glassrud 2 for interference at 2:44. Murray 4-on-4 gives to Norling, the Eagle goal scorer. He got his second way back in the first when the Eagles had a 1-0 lead. Kennedy gives to Murray, goes across the ice looking for Norling, but it's deflected, and it went behind him. Puck tried to chip it in, stolen away, and now the Lancers will have it with Costa. Costa gets around Murray, gets to the red line, tries to dump it in, but a nice skate play by Hope. Chipped it up to center. Hope picked it up, but then turned it over, and back the other way comes Quigley. Quigley spinning with it at the red line. We're 4-on-4 for another minute 24. Quigley turned the pass, but nobody was there. And so the puck deep into the Lancer zone. Costa will play it behind his own net, watched by Scotty Swain. Swain quickly gets around him, carries it in over the line on right wing, toe drags to the middle, turns it over, shot taken high by Quigley off the glass, high, bounces to Costa. Costa on the far side, leaves it for Tyree. Tyree turns it over to his opposing number, O'Connell. Will chip it up the wall looking for Rieger. And then Grambois gave it to Byman. Byman gets to the red line, brings it in over the line, carries in, uses the defenseman as a screen, takes a shot, pops right on over Tyree's stick, and back the other way come the Eagles. Rieger to Gazzardi. Gazzardi tries to get around Grambois, but Grambois stole it. Grambois centered it in front. Tyree behind him. Tyree picks it up on the half wall on the far side, tried to center it in front. He gets it into the slot. It's turned over again. Puck bouncing away. Eagles trying for a 2-on-1, but Byman back with 30 seconds on the 4-on-4. Byman turns it over to Rieger. Rieger tried to get around Byman, but he regained his foothold. Took the puck back, fed to Grambois. Grambois to Tyree. Over the line, 3-man wave. Leaves it. Shot stopped by Kunin. Kicks it into the netting as Schaaf took a slap shot from the top of the circle. And Kunin makes the save into the netting with 16 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4.
I'll tell you, the number of times on attack that I've seen the one-on-one dangle through be successful tonight has been 0. If the players just open their hips a little bit and do a little half mohawk, which you do that, you protect the puck, then you could actually do some business. There's no question.
Howell sent it down. It would have been an icing, but Alfama had to touch it, so McQuegan down low pinching. 4-on-4 is over. Howell, McQuegan down there fighting for it in a 4-player scrum. McQuegan dumps his opposing number down there. Now it's a 5-player scrum as a third Lancer comes in. He's the one who takes the puck. It's Prefro. Feeds it up to Nick Weber. Weber goes across the ice with a nice pass to Nuzzolo. Over the line, carrying in. Good defensive play by Hope. Throws Nuzzolo right into the corner, and he takes the puck away. Puck on the half wall. McQuegan tips it back behind the net. Hope has it. Hope rims it around, or tried to. Gets taken out. His stick is being held by Weber. Down the ice he goes. No penalty called, and finally a penalty, and now a hit there. Weber was taken down. But now I think we're going to be 4-on-4 again because I think Hope was going to get the original penalty on Weber, and now they're going to give Prefrill 2 minutes as well. So I think we're going right back to 4-on-4 at 5:14. All the while, though, Weber was holding on to Hope's stick, so there should have been a holding the stick penalty on Weber. But they didn't call it, and Hope goes to the box. He's got no love for Hope given that they weren't on the same team. Prefrill's going too, so 4-on-4 again at 5:14. So the one good thing about 4-on-4 is you get a little end-to-end action.
Yeah, well, I think at this point in the game, too, I think the officials are cognizant of some of the emotions kind of rising here, and I think they're just trying to avoid anything that might lead to an escalation of that part of the game.
Might start to see some 10 minutes thrown out as we get a little lower down the pole. All of this at 5:14, still 3-1, but we're going to go back to 4-on-4 action. I mean, I will say this, the Hope penalty was a penalty, but it was because Weber was holding on to him, and then Hope had enough. And I think that's what Murray's saying right now is that, Hope did take a penalty, but Weber was holding his stick the whole time, which forced him to take the penalty. Either way, I don't think I've seen it yet where somebody's complained and the officials overturned the call. So we're not going to have that here. We're going to have 4-on-4 again. McQuegan and Howe out for the Eagles with Rieger and Kennedy. We don't see them playing together too often. Horn blown. Howell tries to go forward with it. He's probably been the biggest pest tonight for the Lancers. And here comes Howell up with McQuegan over the line, 2-on-2. Takes a pass toward Howell, looking to center. Howell gets hit behind the net. Puck pumps free. Kennedy tried to pinch in, but then taken back the other way by Carpenter. Carpenter got stick checked by Kennedy right at the center line. Dumped back into the Lancer zone where they'll regroup again with Schaff. Schaff gives to Nash. Nash head of steam out of his own zone. Feeds a nice pass up to Schaff at center. In over the line. Makes a veer to the right. Gets to the goal line. Sends it toward the net. Rimmed around off the wall. Now the Eagles will come out 2-on-2. Here's Howell at the red line. Gives to Kimball. Goes past his stick. It was deflected. No icing. Kimball picks it up the other way. Tried to tip it past Alfama. But he gloved it down before anything could happen with 1:20 to go on the 4-on-4 and 5:55 to go. Gone in period 3, still 3-1.
Yeah, a good smart play by the goaltender to melt that down and get a draw.
Pacheco and O'Connell come out defensively, so does Kimball and Santoro. One by Santoro. Pacheco holds too long as he had a chance to shoot it, but just held it too long, and back the other way comes Lombardi. Lombardi over the line on right wing, stops, tried to make a pass. He fanned on it, turned it over to Santoro, who will skate behind his net. Here comes Grothwan taken away, and Pacheco chipped it up the wall, turned it over, he did, to Grambois. Grambois then turned it over to Santoro, gives to Pacheco, fans on his pass for the second time, and then turns it over to Costa. Costa brings it in over the line. He'll get to the blue line, spin away from a check, then keeps going down on right wing. He centers it in front. He had Grambois that just hopped over his stick. Picks it up on the far side, tried to recenter in front to Lombardi. He chopped it off Santoro's stick, then took a return pass from Grambois, goes back to the point to Youngman, who takes a shot right on. Thought that was Costa. Now Grambois comes from behind that, looks to center in front. He did, but a good play by Ben to pop it to Santoro. Santoro looking for Pacheco, gets to the red line, dumps it in with 24 remaining on the 4-on-4. Glassroots steaming down on left wing, takes the puck. Looking to center in front, spins around, centers it to McDevitt. He found him, but he fanned on the shot. McDevitt then re-centers it up the middle. McCall takes a shot that just missed the corner. McCall chasing down his rebound on the half wall on the far side. Being checked off, spins away, gets the Glassroot, top of the slot, closing in, takes a shot that deflects right on and stopped by Alfama. Didn't get all of it because it was deflected. He'll chase it all the way down the ice. That'll be an icing as we're back to 5-on-5 with 7:19 gone in the third, 3-1. Good couple of opportunities there for the Eagles at the end of the 4-on-4.
Still a lot of game left here for either the Lancers to widen the lead or for Post to just close that gap.
McCowell on the draw with Grandstrand. To the left of Alfama. Won by Grandstrand. Pekka pinching down in the corner. Puck rimmed all the way around to the far side of the ice. Played up high. Jump ball. Gloved by Rieger. Rieger waits for the tag up. Brings it in over the line on left wing. Gets to Pekka. Pekka behind the goal line. Now spins back in the corner. Looking to center to somebody. Pekka has Kennedy on the right point. He finally gets it there. Kennedy fakes. Holds. Waits. Sends it back to Pekka. Pekka on the half wall, being checked, using his body position nicely to get the puck. It squirts free in a corner. Down goes Youngmans. He rims it around the Costa, sends it up the middle, and Rieger's there, but then it's stolen away, and Kennedy back to help out. Here comes Tyree over the line. Tyree centers it and then gets his stick on it to get it away from the on-rushing Grandstrand, and here comes McDevitt. McDevitt, 1-on-4, dumps it into the netting, out of play, so the faceoff will be outside the Lancer zone with 8:08 gone in the third, still 3-1.
Yeah, I think if Post can dig down a little bit here and find that extra gear, that could be a difference maker for him in the last 12-ish minutes we have left here.
Howell and Carpenter on the draw. Won by Carpenter, back to the D of Schaff. Schaff gets a nice pass to Lombardi over the line on left wing. Lombardi fakes it towards Hope, sends it towards the net, surprising Ben a little bit, who was deep in his crease, but he managed to hold the line and make a save with 10 seconds more of ice time off the clock. And a face-off to Cunin's right. 3-1 Lancers. Howell and Carpenter will do it again, this time inside the Eagle zone. This time Howell wins it, tries to move it forward, has his stick held again. Shot taken, turnaround shot taken by Carpenter that goes wide of Cunin. Puck chipped out the center, now high in the air, back in the zone, but the Lancers have to tag up. That'll give Hope a moment to make a decision. Instead, he leaves it for O'Connell. O'Connell, long cross ice pass to Norling behind him. He was looking for it, couldn't find it, and back comes Nick Weber the other way. Weber to Lombardi. Lombardi over the line. Nice check by Hope. Turns it over to McQuegan, and here's Howell. Howell leaves it for Norling. Tries to find McQuegan. He does up the middle. Closing into the slot area, but couldn't get a stick on it to make a shot. Instead, turned it over behind the net. Eagles, four-man fighting for it. Howell gets to the half wall first, goes back to the point to Pacheco. Pacheco spins it back to Howell on the half wall. Howell trying to spin away with it. McQuegan comes in to help out. Puck back to Pacheco at the point. Goes D to D nicely, but off the stick of Hope. Hope holds, waits, sends it toward the net in front for a deflection. It just goes wide. Hope to Howell. Howell rims it around all the way past Hope and all the way out to center, as Pacheco picked it up at the red line. Pacheco trying to go through too many people, turned it over to McDougal. McDougal then turns it over to Pacheco. Pacheco does a good job to feed it to Murray, but Murray overskates it, turns it over to McDougal. McDougal being chopped at by Murray. Finally taken by Schaff. Schaff brings it up and over the line. Schaff being checked by Pacheco. 10:21 to go in the third, still 3-1. Pass too far for Kimball. Kimball is hit, and that should be an interference call, and it is. Even I knew that one.
Well, this is a good opportunity for Post. Again, there's some penalties taken on both sides that really didn't have to happen, that they're kind of letting their opponent in and make it interesting. So
Eagles 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Penalty at 9:45 goes to Miles Kidd, the 19th. 5'8" freshman out of Norwood, Massachusetts. And the Eagles an opportunity on the man advantage to close the gap and turn the momentum tide a little bit. Face off won by the Lancers, sent all the way down the ice, so the Eagles will have to start 200 feet away as Cunin leaves it for Kennedy. Kennedy with speed. The Eagles' leading scorer goes across the ice to Santoro. Santoro waits to the blue line, gives it in to Kimball, but turned it over to Costa. Costa tried to rim it up the near wall, said he'll spin away with it, go high in the air out the center. It hits the roof, so that's a break for the Eagles, as the faceoff will be deep inside the Lancer zone. 24 seconds off the power play, 1:36 left on it, 9:51 to go in the third. Still 3-1 Lancers.
that's playable in a Drubner volleyball game.
Takes a lot of effort to get the roof down here. Upstairs, I would have hit the roof 5 times over.
Yeah.
Santoro to Murray with a one-timer that just goes wide. Nice win on the face-off by Santoro right to Murray, who one-timed it from the middle of the slot and just missed it wide. Kennedy had to pick it up as the puck went all the way around and out. So 122 on the man advantage, and Kennedy will start behind his own net. Here's Aiden Kennedy. Leaves it for Swain. Swain with a nice pass to Murray. Murray chips it to Santoro. Over the line, gives to Kimball. Kimball with a shot that just goes high as a more of a wrist shot, chop shot. Then a recenter in front that was stopped by Alfama as Murray sent it toward the net. Kennedy tries to keep it in, and he does. Kennedy, center point. Waits for everybody to kind of get out of the way, then takes a shot that's deflected by Santoro wide. Santoro tried to recenter, instead he rimmed it around the wall. Kimball pinched in and was sent out to center. Kennedy to Murray. Murray back to Kennedy. 45 on the man advantage. Eagles changing behind the play. Here's Gazzardi. Gazzardi goes behind his own net so everybody else can change. Good shift by the Santoro power play line. And here's Gazzardi. Gives to McMains. Up on right wing over the line. Takes a long shot that's easily gloved by Alfama. With 31 seconds remaining on the man advantage. 8:46 to go in the third. Still 3-1. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday afternoon, 1 o'clock, puck drop, 12:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network as the Eagles host Assumption as the resumption of NE10 conference play begins on Tuesday. Lancers win the draw, but Gazzardi does a good job to keep it in momentarily and then turns it over. Turned it over to Pinnell, who was looking to center it across to Grongstrand, and instead McMains comes up the other side. McMains had it chopped off his stick. Howell plays it to Gazzardi. Gazzardi trying to bring it in. He does. Leaves it for McQuegan. Nice pass across the ice to Rieger. Rieger closes and shot right on. Rebound. The puck is loose. Rieger has it at the goal line. Spins it away. Has Howell on the one-timer. He had it and it was blocked by Grongstrand. And then the puck sent out to center and all the way down. A good opportunity for the Eagles. Just another blocked shot, though, by the Lancers. And the power play is over. Eagles 0 for 3 on the man advantage. 8 minutes to go in the third. McMains gives to Rieger. Rieger, long pass looking for hope. It sends it up on the stick of Howell, who will dump it in around the boards as the Eagles change everybody else behind the play. And Costa will pick it up for the Lancers behind his own net, come out the far side with it, watched by McDevitt. McDevitt got a stick on it. Pekka over on the half wall makes a nice check. McDevitt keeps it in, goes across the ice nicely to McCall, but it rolled off his stick into the near side corner. McCall goes behind the net, checked by Costa. Lombardi in there to help out. McDevitt now there. McCall comes out the far side with it, looking to get it back to the point. Pekka tried to get it to Hope. Instead, it goes all the way down the ice. O'Connell spins quickly, long pass to McDevitt on the stick, leaving for Pekka. Pekka with speed over the line, gives to McDevitt, dumps it down behind the net. Pekka goes after it. Pekka gets there first, looks to center, gets into the far side, near side corner, spins away with it again. Pekka trying to bring it out in front, looking to center. He finds McCall. McCall goes back with a fancy back pass, but way too slow. O'Connell couldn't get on it, and then Pekka had to fight for it on the half wall. Good job by McDevitt to help out. McCall comes away with it. McCall looking to go across the ice, has O'Connell over there, Instead turns it over, and the puck sent to center. Behind the play and down is Tyree. I don't know what happened, but he's trying to skate off on his own power. And Tyree, not happy, looking for somebody. He's still on the ice, though. O'Connell, long pass to Kimball, gets a stick on it, sends it around the boards to Alfamo, has a trouble holding it. He turns it over to Murray. Murray centered it in front, and Kimball just fanned on the shot. Kimball gets it behind the net, centers it in front again. He had Norling. Then Kennedy takes a shot, has fanned on that one as it was blocked in front. Kennedy now down in the far side corner. Gets it back to Kimball, but too far past the stick and out the center. Glassrud will send it in as the Eagles have to tag up. Then Glassrud is taken down on the ice on a big hit by Grambois. Kennedy. Nice chip pass ahead over the line. Norling tried to feed it back to Kennedy. Instead turned it over to number 7 of the Lancers. That's Prefrel, and the puck out to center. Prefrel brings it in over the line on the left wing. Gets around Glassrud, gets to the corner, spins, players falling all over the place. Byman is checked by Murray, but gets the puck in the corner of the Prefrel, tries to center it in front, and then Kennedy, the opposing 7, turns it over and takes it away, but kept in the zone. Nice recenter to Byman. Byman fans on his shot. Norling went down to block it, otherwise he might have had a breakaway, and 5:31 remains in the third. Still 3-1. Prefrel over the line as everybody sort of changed behind him. Santoro comes in, and then stolen to Rieger. Rieger looking for Santoro, and there's a whistle behind the play. And it looks like Scotty Swain's going to get 2 for roughing at 14:40.
I don't think yet we've called a game this year where on both sides so many fans on passes and shots. I don't think I've seen that. I just haven't seen that many.
Is that an ice issue? Because then we've seen people falling down just randomly too.
Yeah, I mean, they're both.
1,000% agree.
I just haven't seen that. It's crazy.
Swain 2 for roughing, 14:40 sends the Lancers to their 6th power play where they're 2 for 5. Lombardi turned it over to Rieger, who'll send it all the way down the ice. Gazzardi chasing after it. Alfama playing it in his crease, spins it away. And the Lancers will start again behind their own net, Tyree. Up on left wing, over the line. Cross-ice pass, looking for Lombardi. It bounced off the leg after Tyree came up the ice with a nice centering pass. .128 remain on the power play, 4:48 remain in the third, still 3-1 Lancers. McCall and Weber on the draw, and Weber tossed for Nash. McCall wins it clean to Hope. Hope then fanned on his pass out, and Nuzola took it away, and then it's rimmed all the way down the ice by Kennedy. McCall going after Alfama, making Alfama at least make a decision with it. He did. He gave it to Prefrill. And out comes Jacob Costa. Costa gets to center, over the line, dumps it in for Nash. They're not going to call an icing. Nash lost it to Hope. Hope gave it to Kennedy, who rimmed it out, but kept in by Costa. Costa with speed, closes in. There's a penalty behind the play. We're going to go back to 4-on-4 as Nick Weber took down Connor McCall. 2 for interference at 15:41. So back to 4-on-4 we go, this time for a minute. And a face-off deep inside the Lancer zone as Weber, the former Eagle, unable to help himself. That's his second penalty of the day, and will eventually put the Eagles, potentially put the Eagles back to their 4th power play in a minute.
Yeah, time will tell the way this one's been going with that.
Howell, McQuegan, Kennedy, and Hope, the Eagle 4. Grongstrand, the face-off man for the Lancers. Forward with it goes Howell, but that took 1 full second of time off the clock, and we'll do it again. Not a bad idea, but they do it again. Grongstrand won it. McQuegan jumped. No call there. The Eagles could have had a 4-on-3. Instead, the other way comes Hecklinger. Hecklinger, who got his first goal of the season, turns it over, and now Kennedy, 4-on-4, spins away from the check of Grongstrand. This 4th line, the players listed on the 4th line for the Lancers have been very good tonight. Each deserves a little bit of credit there. Puck squirts free to center. Howell chasing after it. McQuegan just offside, and then he's hit after the whistle. And we'll see if anything comes of that, as that was unnecessary on the offsides. With 3:51 to go in the third, 31 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. We'll see if anything comes of this. McQuegan hit late. Doesn't look like we're getting anything, but let's see. Officials are going to talk it over. .3-1 Lancers scored 2 goals in the last 3 minutes of the second period. That's the difference really in the game. As Coach has said multiple times, both teams have played pretty even 5-on-5. Doesn't look like we're going to get anything of it. So I think we're staying 4-on-4. And that appears to be the way we're staying. Murray, Norling, O'Connell, and Rieger, the Eagle 4. Carpenter in the draw for the Lancers.
I like that. That's a good call at this stage of the game. Just let the players sort it out.
Lombardi makes a fancy move on his own. He's got a breakaway, and then an offense behind the play. And if this were a 1-1 game, you'd probably pull the remaining hair out of your head if you were the coach, would you not?
Yes, yes.
A penalty to Carpenter on a breakaway for Lombardi.
Oh.
So 4-on-3 for 27 seconds, and if the Eagles ever want to pay them back, because you want to, let's mark that moment down, because if the Eagles can somehow tie this game, that's going to be the moment right there. A breakaway for Lombardi, who made a fancy move and came in all alone and was going to have
I think an
breakaway.
Eagles go in the box as well.
And then a jump behind the play by Carpenter. Oh, boy. They're going to call penalties on both of them? Wow. That's a bailout.
Yeah, I didn't see what precipitated it.
I didn't see what Murray did, but, I mean, again, obviously Carpenter taking Murray down on a Lombardi breakaway. And Murray's getting 5 minutes, Coach, so he must have done something. So as it stands on the clock, Murray has 5 minutes for something. And Carpenter has 2 minutes for tripping, interference, excuse me. Trying to figure out if I can see anything that the officials say, but 5 minutes to Murray. That's going to make this 4-on-4 for most of the rest of the game at this point. You have to wonder if Murray said something or did something.
That was...
Okay.
Which would precipitate the...
So do we actually go
reprisal.
3-on-3 now, Coach? Are we at 3-on-3 now? We're going to be 3-on-3? I think we have to.
I think it has to be, because that's
not.
A 5 and a 2 is not coincidental. I mean, they happened at the same time.
So as oddly as this sounds, the Eagles are going to be 4-on-3 in 27 seconds. So Eagles are going to be 4-on-3 in 27 seconds. 3-on-3 right now. The only thing I know for sure is we can't go 3-on-2. Can't lose anybody else.
A little opportunity to work on your overtime play right here.
Also doesn't look like Murray got thrown out of the game, so
no,
still in the box. So
but that's just
sorry, Coach.
No, I'm sorry. That's just a tough one because you can't.
Now it's 4-on-3. How is it 4-on-3?
I don't know.
Got to be 3-on-3.
You would think
4 penalties up there.
You would think. I mean, the best you can do now is if your post is pull your goaltender to go 5-on-5 too. So that hurts them there.
Or are they saying it's 4-on-4? Yeah, they're saying it's 4.
Okay.
Although that makes no sense either.
No, because the
Because what's gonna
penalties
happen-
happened at the same time, but I didn't think.
But what's going to happen
A
when
2 and a
14 comes
5
out of the box?
would
You
be
can't have
coincidental.
6-on-6. That makes no sense where we are at right now. It's got to be 3-on-3 because it's not going to make any sense. But they're saying it's 4-on-4. Unless they have Murray's 5 on incorrectly, and it's supposed to be 2. We've had a couple of these in the last couple of years where the manpower situation has been weird. This is one of them because if everybody were to come out of the box, it's going to be 6-on-6. They give Murray 5 for spearing is the official call. No game misconduct. But again, what makes no sense with the manpower is if everybody comes out, it's going to be a 6-on-4. 6-on-5, excuse me. So the first man coming out is Swain. Eagles have a 5-on-4. But again, what makes
so that player just may have to wait for a whistle.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm not questioning you.
That's the only way you could keep it at 5.
I just know in a minute 20, a 6th guy is going to come out of the box, and there's no rationale as to why. 35 seconds remaining on the Eagle man advantage. 5 on 4 they should be. I'm going to be honest. All the players on the ice seem relatively confused. Eagles should have 5 guys on the ice right now. There we go. There's the 5th. Kimball brings it in over the line, turns it over. This will be interesting. In 15 seconds, player number 5 comes out for the Lancers. And then what's going to happen in 40 seconds? McQuegan carries it in over the line, chases after it, takes down Lombardi, though no penalty is called. Lombardi is hurt. He's skating off on his own power, though. And back the other way on a 3-on-1 come the Lancers. It's Nuzzolo over the line. Brings it in, holds, waits, gives it off to in front of the nice centering pass, and Weber missed. Weber had a wide open, gaping net and could have put it in. Here's Howell over the line for Gazzardi. Gazzardi centers it for Howell, goes off a leg. This will be interesting in 10 seconds what happens exactly. Puck squirts free, center to Gazzardi. He takes a shot, it's blocked. Out comes player number 6. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The Lancers have 6 players on the ice. There's another whistle. 1:42 remain in the third.
Penalty.
And there's, I
Number
believe,
8.
a penalty.
Number 8.
Looks like Cam Quigley is getting to, as is Jacob Howell. But literally they had 6 players on the ice. 6 skaters on the ice and a goaltender. Which again makes you think this should have been a 3-on-3 in the first place, which might have been a post advantage. Either way, I feel like the officials just want to get off the ice and go home at this point before anything else happens.
Yeah.
Because there's a minute 42 remaining. This game has gotten incredibly chippy. But let's see. Quigley gets 2 for something. Officials all talking it through. And Howell gets 2, so that shouldn't offset manpower, though. This time we shouldn't offset manpower because the Eagles are shorthanded. So it should be 5 on 4 for the Lancers because Murray's 5-minute power play is on the board. So this should be 5 on 4 for the Lancers with a minute 42 to go in regulation time. And if Coach and I are confused, I promise you're probably confused at home, but this should be a 5 on 4. But it was interesting watching the end of those penalties tick off, which was really the fascination because that's where you can tell the officials, we said something positive about them earlier, but you could tell they definitely had messed it up because there were 6 skaters on the ice for the Lancers, and that shouldn't be.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's, you shouldn't let that guy out of the box. You shouldn't let him go.
Unfortunately, we don't have really off-ice officials in the box. We just have people who open the door.
Right.
So they wouldn't have known any better.
That's true.
To their respect, they wouldn't have known that. The officials should have known that. It didn't make any sense at the time. So this should be a 5 on 4. Let's see if they get it right. Because the Eagles are supposed to be shorthanded. Which theoretically, barring another bunch of penalties, the Eagles should be shorthanded for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Although it appears it's 4 on 4 again, which it shouldn't be. It can't be 4 on 3. It can't be 4 on 3. It is 4 on 3, but it can't be 4 on 3. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Byman shot blocked in front. It's 4 on 3, although I have no idea how that's possible. Shot toward the net. Ben can't glove it. It goes off his glove. Santoro plays it to Kennedy with 1:18 to go in regulation time. Kennedy goes across the ice to Santoro. Santoro brings it in over the line, makes a nice move, tries to get toward the net, goes to the forehand, just missed the net. I think Alfama might have gotten a piece of it. Kennedy keeps it in, gives to Santoro. Santoro, top of the far circle, takes a shot that just goes wide. A minute remaining in the third, and the oddest last 5 minutes of officiating I may have ever seen. The oddity continues as Kennedy goes across the ice to Rieger. Rieger over the line, waits, holds, takes a shot, the fans on, goes behind the net with 44. Byman can't get it out, turns it over to Swain. Swain leaves it for Glassrud. Glassrud looking for Swain, brings it in over the line, does Swain, up on left wing, tries to get toward the net, looking to center in front. He did off the leg, and it goes in, I think. I think that might have gone in, let's see.
Nope.
No, it did not. .26 seconds to go, and Swain just got tossed. Swain's getting in unsportsmanlike conduct at 19:34.
Frustration just boiling over.
And the Eagles have a right to be frustrated, and this has no impact on the game, but the officials have had a terrible last 5 minutes. I mean, let's just call it like it. It has nothing, and it has nothing to do with the Eagles. It goes both ways for the Lancers too. The officials have been trying to control the game, but they've been horrible in the last few minutes because the manpower situation has made no sense. It doesn't make any sense now. Glassrud behind his own net, rims it all the way around the boards and down the ice. And I think at this point, everybody just kind of wants to get off the ice and go home. Youngman behind his own net with 10. Watched by Pekka, who might chase him out. He does chase him out. Youngman's with some speed, gets to the red line, goes high in the air, dumps it into the zone. Kaneen will come out to touch it, and that will do it here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. So Eagles put some pressure on in the first drill 15 minutes, and the last 5 minutes turned into a you can use your four-letter adjective that you need to. But Eagles fall 3-1, fall to 3-10-1 on the season. Worcester State moves to 7-5-3. A 3-1 victory here this evening at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach, take all the craziness of the last 5 minutes out of play. Eagles still unable to put the puck behind the net more than once a game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought the goaltender for the Lancers just quietly went about his business, and he played well. I thought he played well.
3 stars of the evening brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are in your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all the Post degree programs, visit campus, take a tour, or apply. Go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Coach, your 3 stars in a 3-1 Lancer victory here this evening.
Yeah, well, as a segue to what we were just saying, Donovan Alfama gets my first star because, like I said, he just quietly went about his business and he made saves. Second star goes to the game winner, which I believe is, and I noticed him quite a bit in general on the ice tonight. 19, Spencer Hecklinger. I thought he played well. And then kind of the nail in the coffin, so to speak, with the third goal, Cam Quigley.
3-1, the final here. Let me just get you the final statistics before we jump out of here. Shots on goal in the third period. For the Lancers, 13, a game total of 42. For the Eagles, 8, a game total of 33. Face-offs all in. The Eagles won 12 in the third period, while the Lancers won 10, so 38-35 Eagles on the face-offs. No goals in the third period, but the Eagles had a 1-0 lead on a Parker Norling goal in the first period. But then 3 in a row, a microcosm of their game yesterday, although they didn't score 11. Worcester State scored 3 in a row to ice the game. It was Nash, it was Hecklinger, and it was Quigley with the game winner, with the third goal late in the second period to put this game away. Coach, any final thoughts on the 3-1 Worcester State victory and getting ready for Tuesday's big NE10 game against Assumption?
Well, I mean, obviously you want to win games, but I want to say it's really good preparation. They've played 3 very good teams so far on break here, and not that Assumption is not good, but they're in, competitive-wise, they're in as best position as they could be, being able to play at pace, at tempo, getting opportunities. Again, right, I agree, not finishing them for sure, but the fact that they're getting them is still a positive, and that they have to find a way to draw on that as a group. And at the end of the day, these games are supposed to get you ready. The non-league games are supposed to get you ready for your league games. So let's see if, in fact, that worked. And Tuesday will be an interesting day.
That's the story here from the Sports Center of Connecticut. An unfortunate 3-1 loss for the Eagles. Back-to-back. Well, no, it was 3-2 on Tuesday, but back-to-back losses here at home to start the winter season. But game 4 of the stretch of 10 and 25 days will be on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Puck drop 12:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network. For the coach, Pete Whitney, I am Jeff Nelson. Final score, Worcester State 3, Eagles 1. Eagles fall to 3-10-1 on the season. We'll see if they can jump back into NE10 conference play on Tuesday and get themselves a victory. We hope to see you then. Join us live on the Post University Sports Network. Again, for Coach Pete Whitney, I'm Jeff Nelson. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock puck drop on the Post University Sports Network.